following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Hi, I'm Joe Namath of the New York Jets. The Baltimore Colts will win today's Super Bowl game. I can't guarantee it, but I definitely think the Colts will win.
Brought to you by Chrysler Corporation, extra care in engineering. Your host today, your local Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth dealer. This is the Orange Bowl. It'll be jammed 80,000 fans today, the pro football capital of the world, Super Bowl day, the culmination of the long season that began last September and winds up this afternoon. Only a half hour now, countdown to the kickoff in beautiful Miami. Hi, everybody. This is Kurt Gowdy, along with Joe Namath here in Miami. We're waiting for the start of Super Bowl V. Because of the demands and pressures of getting ready for this game, we have pre-taped this show in the outdoor studios of WCKT here in Miami. Anyone who recalls that Joe Namath 2 years ago personally guaranteed a victory for the New York Jets over the Baltimore Colts will be interested in his observations today. I don't know what you've read and heard a lot of things about Joe. Believe me, he is a serious student of football. He's a brilliant theorist, and after spending hours with him looking at these films, I can tell you that he can really take a pro football team and pick it apart. It's not just his quick release in the Army you've heard about. He has a fine football mind. Joe, today it's the Baltimore Colts, champs of the American Conference, the Dallas Cowboys, champs of the National Conference. An old AFL team is not here today. Do you think it's taken a little sting out of the game?
Well, I think it has, Kurt. In the old days, last year and years prior to that when we had the two conferences, the owners were always arguing with each other, the commissioners were arguing with each other, the players disliked each other, and it added a lot of excitement to this game. And without an AFL team in there, I think it does lack a little bit.
Now, generally, how does it stack up to you before we really get down to details?
But I think the Cowboys, I know the Cowboys have a tremendous running game, and Baltimore has a pretty good running game, not that outstanding. However, Baltimore's passing attack is head and shoulders above Dallas's because Craig Morton simply hasn't been able to throw the ball the last 4 or 5 weeks, and it's not because he can't. He's had a sore arm. He's had more injuries to his arm, and this is going to cause him a big problem.
All right, we'll be back here with Joe Namath and a preview of Super Bowl V right after this message.
Hey, baby, hey, look at what I got. A brand new Dart Swinger. Ain't she a beauty?
I done heard about it.
See, I got this special deal down to Dodge Boys. I got the...
Buford, turn in your badge.
Say what?
One thing I can't stand so law officer accepted preferential treatment.
You mean a bribe?
I mean a special deal. White side walls, wheel covers, vinyl roof, and all that stuff.
Well, I paid for all that. But look at the sticker.
And the automatic transmission?
What about the automatic transmission?
What did it cost you?
Nothing.
Give me the badge, Buford.
That's part of the Swinger Automatic Special, J.W. Special equipped Dodge Dart comes with the automatic transmission at no extra charge. Go ask them.
Ask him your own self. You're entitled to one phone call.
Well, now...
The new Swinger Automatic Special. So great last year, we brought it back for seconds. See it at your Dodge dealer today.
Much obliged, Dodge boys.
Well, Joe, the Dallas Cowboys arrived here by beating the 49ers in the National Football Conference Championship, while the Colts got here by defeating the Oakland Raiders in the American Football Conference Championship. Did the results of those two championship games surprise you at all?
Well, one of them did. I thought that Oakland would beat Baltimore. Of course, when Darryl LeMonnier got hurt in the second quarter, I think, not take away anything from George Blanda, but George can't throw as well as Darryl, and I think that hurt Oakland's chances. And in the 49er game, I didn't really feel that the 49ers defense was strong enough to contain Dallas's running game, and they weren't. So the Dallas game went about according to plan.
Well, over 60 million people will be viewing today's game know that Dallas has a tremendous running game. played a ball control running style of game against the 49ers to beat them. Do you think that the Dallas Cowboys will be able to run effectively against the Baltimore Colts?
Well, they have a great running game, so they'll be able to run some, but I don't think they'll be able to run effectively enough. Baltimore has a tremendous defense, and I think they'll cut off Dallas's running game pretty good.
This boy, Dwayne Thomas, who is, Tom Landry's called him the greatest running back in the history of the Cowboys, only his first year. They're already comparing him to Jimmy Brown. What do you think about him?
Well, it's no doubt that he's a great athlete. He's done wonders for the Dallas team so far this year. And there are a couple other young backs that are also tremendous, like Ron Johnson from the Giants and O.J. Simpson. But people might tend to overlook the other half of the Dallas running game, Walt Garrison. I think Garrison does a tremendous job for the Cowboys.
Who should we watch for at Baltimore to help stop this running game of Dallas's?
Well, as I said, they're experienced. They're a very tough defensive unit. They work together well. I don't think Dallas will be running too much at Bubba Smith. I think they'll be running to the other side of the line towards
like
Hilton.
you did against Baltimore 2 years ago.
Right. Not necessarily because Hilton's weak, but I think Bubba Smith is that strong. They respect him that much, and so I think they'll be running the left side of the line more.
And the Baltimore linebackers play the run well, don't they?
Yes, they do, but I think they play the pass better than they play the run. They're all very active, and it's Ted Hendricks. Trying to throw over him is like trying to throw over a skyscraper. And, of course, Mike Curtis has good movement, and Ray May is a fine all-around linebacker. They coordinate very well in pass coverage.
Oh, you think Dallas can run against Baltimore, but they're not going to tear them apart?
I think they can run a little bit on them. I don't think they're going to run all day long.
All right, now 2 out of every 3 yards Baltimore's gained this year has been in the air. Now, can Baltimore work their passing game against a defense that's allowed only 1 touchdown in the last 25 quarters?
Well, the biggest thing about Baltimore's passing, Kurt, is 𝙗𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙖. He's done such a great job this year at throwing the ball where the defenders aren't. Of course, Johnny needs the protection. He'll have to have his offensive line doing a great job to keep Dallas out of there. And if the line does do their regular job, I think Johnny will be able to throw on Dallas pretty good.
They have not only a great pair of wide receivers in Hinton and Jefferson, but some backup men. They can flood 4 wide receivers in a game at one time.
Right, and this is what also makes Baltimore's passing game more effective. They have Perkins backing up Hinton and Jefferson, and they have Jimmy Orr, who still has that experience. And, of course, Mitchell backs up Mackey. They have probably the finest group of receivers in all of football.
Speaking of Perkins, he's an old Alabama teammate of yours, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Raymond is, and for Dallas, Leroy Jordan and Dennis Homer are old teammates.
2 on one club and 1 on the other.
Right, I think I'll have to be pulling for Dallas only because of that.
Now, you're pulling for Dallas and picking Baltimore.
That's right.
That makes a lot of sense. Phil, let me ask you something. We talk about this game and all the talk recently. It still always gets back to the name of Unitas. Didn't you wear Unitas' number 19 when you were in high school at Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania?
Yes, I did, and they used to call me Joey U. Right. Well, I didn't live too far from Johnny back there, I guess about 40 miles apart, and Johnny was a legend, and he still is a legend in that area, and I respect the man tremendously, and it was a thrill for me just to be wearing number 19.
Now, Joe, we're going to put you in quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys and let you go to work against the Baltimore defense, and we're going to move you over to the Baltimore team and let you try and pick apart the Dallas defense. And we'll do that right after this message.
The salted peanut theory. It starts with a single peanut. You try it. You'll like it. You come back for more. For years, we've been selling Chryslers this way. People buy one. They like it. They come back for more. All we have to do is to get you into that first Chrysler. So, we're coming through with a brand new series of full-sized Chryslers, a special introductory offer at a new low price, a Royal. Royal is our way of introducing as many people as possible to Chrysler luxury, quality, and value. New Chrysler Royal. New low price. Royal. The easiest way yet to acquire the Chrysler taste.
Here comes Chrysler, coming through. Here comes Chrysler.
Now, let's take Johnny Unitas out as quarterback for Baltimore for 2 or 3 minutes, put Joe Namath in. Joe, you're now running the Baltimore attack against this famed Dallas defense. First of all, Dallas has a very fine front four, They put a lot of pressure on the passing game and the quarterback. What would you do against the pass rush of Dallas?
Well, I think Johnny is going to have to throw the ball quicker. He'll throw shorter patterns, I think. And I think he's going to have to establish a draw player a screen, Kurt, because you got to slow down those fellas. Bob Lilly is tremendous. He's absolutely great. Yeah. He is great, yes. And Larry Cole's doing a great job for him. So he'll have to mix up his plays with the screens and the draws. And I think they might use 4 receivers and try and get a one-on-one situation with Waters, the free safety, the young kid.
Now, there's Mel Renfro, an all-pro cornerback. Have you seen anything where Unitas will be able to find some flaws in that Dallas secondary?
I think the only flaw they have is the fact that you can tell what they're going to do a good percentage of the time before they do it. And with Johnny's experience and knowledge of the game, I think this is going to be a tremendous asset for the passing game.
What's your key to tell what they're going to do?
Well, it depends on the team you're playing against. And with Dallas, there's a couple of people, I hate to say who they are actually, that give you the key because we'll probably have to play next year.
Right.
But you can tell when you come up to the line of scrimmage just the way a man lines up, or very often just the way a guy's looking at you, what they're going to do.
Dallas going to play zone, man-to-man, or both?
I think they'll use both. Dallas will double cover both wide receivers at times, or they have in the past. Now, I don't know if they want to do that and hang the linebackers up one-on-one with Mackey, because Mackey's a tremendous receiver.
Fans can look for 2 defenders covering 1 wide man, 2 in the other, which might release the big tight end Mackey down the middle.
Right. The linebackers will try and hold Mackey up at the line of scrimmage, but he's a big man. If he gets free, he'll be dangerous.
Of course, Unitas very quick spotting these things, and he probably will do what he sees in the Dallas defense.
Right. Now, as I said earlier, that's the biggest asset of Baltimore's passing attack. Johnny is so quick at reading the defensive alignment, etc.
Joe, psychologically, as a quarterback, how important is it going to be to score first in this game?
I think it's very important to Baltimore in this respect. Dallas doesn't have that explosive offense that they used to have. If Baltimore scores early, Dallas may have to try and catch up to them, but they won't leave their game plan early in the game. However, if Dallas gets on the board early, I don't think that's going to change much of Baltimore's thinking at all.
We saw that sort of in the Ohio State-Stanford game.
Right.
Stanford got ahead, and Ohio State, a ground team, then tried to pass and catch up, just couldn't quite do it.
That's right. And if Dallas, or if Craig Morton was healthy, if he could throw, then possibly they could do it. But I think they'll be in trouble if they get behind.
Well, we ask you the importance of scoring first, and we also ask psychologically how important scoring early was Johnny Unitas and Craig Morton.
So you're going to probably try and get quick, aren't you? Strike quick if you can.
As quick as we possibly
Yeah,
can.
you want to get on top. You think that's going to be a big key, don't you?
Well, if we go out right now, we probably could beat them. No one else on the field.
Right. But you like to get on top anytime. I mean, this type of team you're playing is the type of team you like to get ahead of.
Well, we like to get ahead of everybody, like you said, but if we can get a quick one, we'll love to have it.
Well, I think that our whole philosophy of offense has kind of been switched from a wide-open type of get-rich-quick plays to the more steady ground game, trying to establish that we do have a powerful front line and we have some excellent running backs. And so we always like to feel that we can control the game by running, and by doing this, we limit the defensive time on the field, and consequently, we have more plays, and it has turned out to be real successful for us the last 7 weeks.
Well, Craig Morton says he's going to take his time against that Baltimore zone. They're hard to throw deep on. Now, Joe Namath, let's put you over as the Dallas quarterback. How would you attack Baltimore?
Well, first he wants to get his running game going. There's no doubt about that. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it going too successfully. So he's going to have to throw the football. And with as much respect as the Dallas running game has, I think the best passes he'll utilize or call will be play-action passes, where he'll fake to a running back and then turn around and throw the ball to somebody.
In other words, we're going to look for him early maybe to fake that run. They're looking for the run and raise up and maybe try and hit a big one early.
Right, he could go for the big one. Or the linebackers of Baltimore really have to respect the run of Dallas. So they're going to have to stay in a little tight. So there should be an open area between the linebackers, behind them, and the secondary. So you can look for Bob Hayes or Dennis Holman to be squaring in those areas.
Is that what you did 2 years ago?
Yeah, we did a lot of that with George Sauer.
In between the linebackers and the deep secondary.
Right. They kept rotating their zone because of the threat we had with Maynard, and so we just went the other way with Sauer.
Now, the Colts have a great pass rusher in their left end, Bubba Smith. It didn't bother you fellas too much. Snell picked him up many times. but he's big and strong, and he comes barreling in there. Morton's not too agile behind the line as he sets up. What would you do against a big pass rusher like Bubba Smith of Baltimore?
Well, I'd say a prayer before the game. We always do that. And I know I'd tell my tackle to help out a lot. Dave Herman, who blocked Bubba in the Super Bowl a few years ago, did a great job on him. Bubba, I don't think, however, is going to be too concerned with the pass. I think the whole Baltimore line will be more concerned with the running plays, and Craig will probably have time to pass unless he has to pass. Then Baltimore will start coming after him.
Well, they say Dallas is a winning team without a quarterback. He was ineffective with passing efficiency these last 3 or 4 games. But he's had a bum elbow. There's something wrong with him, and they say he's been throwing much better this week. Do you think Morton is physically capable of having a big day throwing?
I know Craig for a few years now. I've seen him play ever since he was in college, and he had a tremendous arm. He could throw the football as well as anybody and better than most. But something has definitely happened to his arm over the last 6 or 7 weeks. He is injured, and no one knows how it's going to be for the game.
All right, Joe, we'll be back here with a wrap-up right after this message.
Okay, just go on back. Oh, don't worry.
What do you mean, don't worry? What have you done to my car, lady?
Nothing, it was nothing.
Nothing? You call that nothing? The car's only 2 days old.
Oh, it looks very new.
Looks new? Oh, lady, you just hit the newest of the new cars. Out of a whole parking lot, you got to run into my new Plymouth Satellite.
But I didn't hit your new expensive car.
She did? She did. Oh, she did. Satellite isn't really expensive. In fact, it's very low priced.
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, no damage done. Car with legs like that. Who's going to notice a little scratch?
New Plymouth Satellite, America's lowest price 2-door intermediate. Based on manufacturer's suggested retail prices of Satellite pictured and closest competitive models comparably equipped.
You know, Joe, after that Baltimore-Oakland game, Johnny Unitas did not have a high percentage of completion. And you commented to me, though, how he threw an almost perfect game. Either hit his receiver or the defender never touched the ball.
Right. Johnny really impressed me in that game because his throwing very often didn't look accurate to the spectator, but it was because he was throwing a lot of passes away. And if there was any chance of anyone getting to the ball, it was his own people.
So today, if the fans see Unitas missing some passes, sometimes he's missing on purpose.
Of course. Keep the ball away from the defense.
We told Johnny Unitas what you said about that was one of the greatest performances you'd ever seen, and here's what he had to say as an answer.
Well, we try not to throw it up for grabs. I try not to get in a position where I have to force a ball in between 2 people. My arm's not as strong as it was 10, 12 years ago, where I could take that opportunity and have maybe a thread, right, drill it in through that hole. I don't have the speed on the ball that I once had, but I can still throw the outside without any problem. And you tend to hold the ball a little bit longer, make sure the man gets a little bit more open than what you would like, what you think he should be, you know.
Well, you're being honest. What you're saying is physically you can't pass the football as good as you did 10 years ago.
Well, I can't put as much speed on it.
Right.
I could probably throw it better than what I could 10 years ago, but with not as much speed.
I think Craig, of course, who's another Johnny Unitas, you know. He's got all the experience. Craig is just really beginning in his career. He's had a lot of trouble this year, a lot of arm trouble. And whenever a quarterback has arm trouble, you got troubles because he can't work during practice. He can't do the things that makes great timing. And this has hurt him, and he's suffered for it. And we've had to compensate, you know, in what we do to offset it.
Joe, do you agree with Tom Landry on that?
I certainly do. Timing phase of throwing a football is so important that you have to get out there and work at it and work on it every day. And if Craig can't throw it, he certainly can't work on it.
And he paid a compliment to Unitas on his experience. You're still a fairly young quarterback, but year by year, are you realizing how important experience is in pro football?
I certainly do, Kurt. When I first came into football as a rookie, I thought that I could play professional football. I had confidence. I wasn't aware of all the intricacies of the game. The more you play, the older you get, you're still learning. Johnny, I know Johnny feels the same way. Unitas, even though he's played 15, 16 years, you find out something new every game.
Well, you went through a Super Bowl time here 2 years ago, the 2 weeks of preparation. Baltimore's gone at it differently this time. They've left their wives at home, their families, They come down here with total concentration. So is Dallas. How much pressure is there on these players coming into this game?
But if they get their wives with them, I'd imagine there's a whole lot more on them than there would be without them. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on these guys. They're playing for the World Championship. They may never get another opportunity to be here, and it's the ultimate for the professional football player to reach that goal, to be able to participate in the World Championship game and win it. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on them.
When you're in the locker room and somebody says, boys, it's just another ball game, it isn't, right?
There's no way it's just another game.
We're right here on artificial turf in this outdoor studio. What about artificial turf affecting the game? Baltimore's only played on it 3 times this year. Dallas has played on it all year.
I don't think it'll have any bearing at all, Kurt, on the game. From what I've seen of the artificial turf, I've liked it. Some players don't like it because of an injury problem. They'll get scrapes and burns. But usually the footing has been great every time we've been on it, so I don't think it's going to have any bearing on the game.
All right, one final wrap-up of your prediction and your general diagnosis of this game.
Well, again, Kurt, I like the Baltimore Colts to win the game because they have the more balanced attack of the two. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to run the football on the Colts the way they've been able to run against these past few teams that they've played. And, of course, 𝙗𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙨, with his experience, he's going to throw it to the right areas, and I think they'll move the ball on Dallas, and the field goal kickers are going to be very important in this game.
Jim O'Brien for Baltimore and Clark for Dallas.
Right, it could be decided by a field goal.
Close game.
It's definitely going to be close.
Joe, we want to thank you very much. Incidentally, you'll be able to see Joe Namath on the Flip Wilson Show on NBC February 4th. You've noticed the cast on his hand. Most of you know he broke his hand the 4th game of the year. It's still in the cast. A very slow healing bone there in that right hand you injured, wasn't it?
Yes, it is, Kurt. It's taken a lot longer than I hoped it would take, and I'll get it examined again next week, and hopefully it's healed.
Maybe you'll be unavailable for this show next year. You might be back in the Super Bowl as a player, huh?
You know, I hope you're right about that. We have a fine team, and if we can stay healthy, if we have a little luck, we might be there next year.
That's Joe Namath, the quarterback of the New York Jets, who's diagnosed and he's predicted the Baltimore Colts in a close game to defeat the Dallas Cowboys today. Now we're going to have a live update direct from the Orange Bowl and a unique way of looking at the starting lineups right after this message.
We're proud of our 1971 Plymouths. They're the finest we've ever built. We're so proud, in fact, that we're making 2 special offers to make it easy for you to own one. First, there's the 1971 Fury V8 with new torsion quiet ride. To give it an extra big push, we've added a special package of popular options, including power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning. We're also pushing America's newest low-priced 2-door hardtop, Valiant Scamp, with a special introductory package including a vinyl roof, white walls, and a remote side view mirror. During our big push, if you buy either a specially equipped Fury or a specially equipped Valiant Scamp, we'll throw in the automatic transmission at no extra charge. That's right. Automatic transmission, no extra charge. That's Chrysler Plymouth coming through.
This was the Orange Bowl Stadium early this morning. And now, just before game time, it is already filled, 80,000 on hand. We're here in our NBC telecasting booth now, and believe me, it's been a tough ticket for this game. They've been scalping them for over $100 in the hotel lobbies and around Miami. The weather is going to be played in bright sunshine. It is cooler, though. It's been hot all week here in Miami, but it cooled off yesterday. The temperature will be 65 degrees, an ideal climate for the players. And now we're going to take a unique look at the starting lineups as we match the offensive player against the defense. For Dallas in offense, number 22, wide receiver Bobby Hayes, a one-time world's fastest human who's the Cowboys' leading pass catcher. Matching with Hayes on defense for Baltimore is right cornerback Jim Duncan, number 35, who is the top kickoff return man in the American Conference. The Cowboys' other wide receiver is rookie Reggie Rucker, number 88, who's averaged better than 22 yards a catch. Rucker's pair on defense with Baltimore's left cornerback Charlie Stoops, number 47. Tight end Pettis Norman of Dallas, number 84, is one of Coach Tom Landry's messengers. He carries in the plays along with the other tight end, Mike Ditka. Strong safety Jerry Logan of the Colts, number 20, who intercepted 6 passes during the season, will line up opposite the tight end. Rayfield Wright, number 70, is the starting right tackle for the Cowboys. And his duel with gigantic Bubba Smith, number 78, the Colts left end, should be something to watch. Blaine Nye, number 61, holds down right guard for Dallas. He's at his best pulling out of the line. Nye will be up against the wily Colt veteran left tackle, rough and tumble Billy Ray Smith, number 74. The Dallas center is Dave Manners, number 51. Right down the alley from him will be one of the most vicious tacklers in pro football, Mike Curtis, number 32. They don't call the Colt middle linebacker the Animal for nothing. The left guard for Dallas, John Nyland, number 76. He's quick, an outstanding pass protector. Nyland draws the Colt right tackle, Fred Miller, number 76, who's more adept in stopping a run than a pass. Ralph Neely, number 73, is the Cowboys' left tackle. He's probably the top performer in the Dallas defensive line. Neely will be banging helmets with the Colts right end, Roy Hilton, number 85, who has developed into a fine pass rusher. Running back Dwayne Thomas, number 33, is a Dallas Rookie of the Year. He became a starter in the 6th game of the season and finished as the top Cowboy runner with 803 yards, the 5th best of the National Conference. Thomas had 2 exceptional playoff games, picking up a total of 273 yards in those 2 games. Paired with him is Baltimore's left linebacker Ray May, number 56. The Dallas fullback or running back is Walt Garrison, number 32. He gained 500 yards during the season. And the Colts' fast-improving right linebacker, Ted Hendricks, number 83, will be across the line from Garrison. Quarterback Craig Morton of the Cowboys, number 14, threw 15 touchdown passes during the regular season. But his scattered arm statistics in the playoffs were dismal. Opposite Morton on defense for Baltimore is free safety Rick Volk, number 21, who intercepted 4 passes during the season. And that's the way they'll line up for the opening kickoff in Super Bowl V. All right, that's the lineup that you'll be seeing on the field as the Dallas Cowboys have won the toss. They've elected to receive. And interestingly enough, we don't know how the wind is down in the field, but the flag shows that Dallas will also have the advantage of the wind in the first period. But on the field, the wind may be a different factor. This is rated almost a dead-even game. Dallas a 2-point or a 1-point favorite, the closest of the pre-game predictions we've had in the Super Bowl. They've all been one-sided predictions before, and yet we've had 2 upsets the last 2 years. So it should be a dandy, and that's how it looks here from the Orange Bowl just before we move downfield. This Super Bowl special preview has been brought to you by Chrysler Corporation, extra care in engineering. Your host today, your local Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Lloyd Bridges, Gene Barry, and Diane Baker star in a chilling world premiere movie tomorrow at 9/8 Central Time.
Some airlines please some of the passengers some of the time. Their coach seats, though narrow, please quite a few people, but not everybody. On Continental Airlines, though, coach and economy seats on every 707 and 727 Fanjet we fly are as wide as first-class seats. That pleases all of our passengers all of the time. Do yourself proud on Continental Airlines.
I know all about Santa Anita. People getting wildly emotional 9 times a day.
Yes, get wildly emotional 9 times a day at Santa Anita now.
Impossible.
Try it. Try it.
Have you seen this new Dodge Colt? It's a little economy car with reclining bucket seats.
It's been held over, one of the great comedies of all time with one of the great casts of all time. Don't miss Light Up the Sky, held over through Saturday, February 6th at the Huntington Hartford Theater. KNBC, Los Angeles.
Last August, over 2,000 players reported to professional football camps. The regular season began in early September. Over 200 games have been played. And now we're down to the final game, with only 80 players left and 2 teams. It was probably the most exciting season in the history of professional football, with a new alignment and a new divisional setup. And with just 2 weeks to go in the regular season, fans in 16 cities had their fingers crossed with hopes that their team could still make the playoffs. And now, this is Curt Gowdy on behalf of NBC Sports saying that we're delighted you can be with us today, not just for a championship game, but for a unique event that has become a happening on the American scene. NBC Sports, a service of NBC News, presents for the championship of professional football, Super Bowl V. The American Conference champions, the Baltimore Colts, versus the National Conference champions, the Dallas Cowboys. From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, and brought to you by Chrysler Corporation, extra care in engineering. Your host today, your local Dodge dealer. And by Goodyear, the only makers of long-wearing polyglass tires. Miami, bright sunshine, the Orange Bowl Stadium. A record crowd for the Super Bowl today, 80,000. And of course, the artificial turf, a lightning-fast field. Hi, everybody. I'm Curt Gowdy, and I'll call the play-by-play this afternoon. Kyle Rote, one of the best players who ever performed in the National Football League, will be analyzing this game. And down on the field, roaming the sidelines for pertinent information, will be Bill Ennis. Well, the Cowboys and the Colts have left the field. Right now, in their locker rooms, each player alone with his thoughts, what he has to do today. A final word from the coaching staffs, and then the team prayer. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the Orange Bowl, there's pomp, there's pageantry, and there's music.
Ladies and gentlemen, the National Football League is proud to present the 5th World Professional Football Championship pregame show. Of today's game is the shield of professional football with the letters NFL, the National Football League, comprised of the National and American Football Conferences, and 26 stars to indicate those 26 football powers whose gladiators of the professional gridiron led us to this confrontation today to determine the champion of the 1970 season. It is only fitting that we take just a moment to recognize those teams who have contributed to this great finale. In the National Conference, the Atlanta Falcons, the Los Angeles Rams, the New Orleans Saints, the San Francisco 49ers, the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Washington Redskins. In the American Conference, the Denver Broncos, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Oakland Raiders, the San Diego Chargers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, the Houston Oilers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Colts, the Boston Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, and the New York Jets. And the New York Jets, and of course our teams which have reached that pinnacle of championship status, today's contestants, the Baltimore Colts. And here's the biggest Baltimore Colt of them all. And the Dallas Cowboys. Introducing
Johnny Unitas, number 19, and Craig Morton, 14. Wish they were that tall to look over that pass rush. The Baltimore Colts and the Dallas Cowboys are getting ready for the opening kickoff. We'll be back in a moment with more about Super Bowl V.
Howard, about the air conditioning.
Yeah, terrific, ain't it?
I'm freezing.
Great special on air temp air conditioning down at the Dodge Boys.
My lips are turning blue.
Specially equipped Dodge Polara got over 50% off the air conditioning sticker price.
But, Howard, it's January.
So, who's going to discount it in August?
The factory air conditioning special on Polara and Monaco at the Dodge Boys right now.
Wilkinson presents a commercial for Gillette's newest blade and Wilkinson's newest blade. This one has an edge strengthened with pure chromium. This one uses a platinum chromium alloy. Both will give you a very good shave. Now, we won't tell you that one is better. Try both. Platinum Plus and the blade by Wilkinson. We think you'll know which blade you prefer and which blade sponsored this commercial.
And now for his pregame look, let's listen to Kyle Rote.
Thank you, Kurt. Well, I guess we've sort of run out of time to just sit back and think about the game any longer. Time to give an opinion. And whether they will win the ball game or not is another thing, but I certainly do think the Baltimore Colts have the edge in this one. Dallas's strength is running, but they can be stopped on the ground. St. Louis did it. The Giants did it. Baltimore's strength is passing, but they can also be stopped through the air. Minnesota did it. Boston did it. Buffalo did it. But when you get over their strengths, then what? When the Cowboys have been forced to pass, well, they've had trouble. However, when the Colts have been forced to run, they've done pretty well, particularly in the last few games. And one other big difference, Dallas quarterback Craig Morton will be throwing into the Baltimore zone defense, whereas the Colts' Johnny Unitas will be firing at the Dallas man-for-man coverage. And when Johnny Unitas is going against man-for-man coverage, I think it's just a matter of time before he beats you. So we see Baltimore with the edge. Right now, down on the field, and Bill Ennis.
Thank you, Kyle. This is the first Super Bowl to be played on artificial surface. The shoes will be worn by many of the ball players. Most, in fact, on the Colts and the Cowboys will be this shoe here. The one with the mini cleats, the soft rubber tips for great traction. Here's the old shoe, the grass cleat. It will not be used this afternoon by any of the players in the ball game. We have checked with both coaches. The starting lineups are pat as you heard them. Walt Garrison, the major concern for the Cowboys in their running attack, will be in the ball game to start. Kurt mentioned the wind. The wind, it could be a factor, should be a factor in this ball game. It is swirling now in the Orange Bowl. It is coming in low and going out high from the east end. So therefore, Kurt, it will be in the face of the Cowboys to start the ball game. We'll be down here reporting on major injuries and any other developments during the ball game. And now let's go back up to Kurt.
The band will be clearing the field. Baltimore Colts in white today, the Dallas Cowboys in blue. Now we're going to have the indication for the toss of the coin. Cornell Green 34, Manders 51, Jordan 55, the captains for Dallas. And it's the Baltimore Colts will have Unitas. He's going to be the offensive captain. Ray May, number 56. Fred Miller, the veteran, is the defensive captain. Dallas won the toss. They've elected to receive. Baltimore will kick off from your right. Norm Schachter is the referee. Paul Trapinski, the umpire. Ed Marion, the head linesman. Jack Fetty, the line judge. Hugh Gamber, the back judge. And Fritz Graff is the field judge.
Who are missing or captured in Southeast Asia.
I hope you caught that announcement. We're going to have a formation of Air Force fighter aircraft conducting
Ladies
a
and
flyby.
gentlemen, would you please join in singing our national anthem?
They're not here yet. And now our national anthem. For the flyby, one will peel off, a reminder of our missing or men captured. There's the missing symbol of our prisoners of war in Vietnam as they roar by. One gun, 3 remaining. The national anthem was played by Tommy Loy with the South Dade High School band. We're clearing the field now. Baltimore will kick off from your right. Dallas will be receiving, and they're going to put Calvin Hill on the near side and Mark Washington on the far side.
Their punters and quarterbacks to make sure that the wind was going in that direction on the field.
There's the kick by O'Brien. Not too deep. That's Calvin Hill, and he's ridden down on the 24-yard line. And he's hit there by Jack Maitland, number 40. And so we'll watch Dallas now go to the attack. A team that has changed from a big play team to a ball control team. But will they be faking that run today and maybe showing some play-action passes early? Craig Morton said if he could get to Reggie Rucker early and give him some confidence, he may try and do it. It's on the 24-yard line of Dallas, first down. Morton, the quarterback. Garrison and Thomas set behind him. They're in their shift. Hayes is in the slot, Rucker outside of him. And that's Garrison, the fullback, to his 26-yard line. He's hit by Fred Miller and by Roy Hilton, number 85. Up front, Bubba Smith will be the left end. He's number 78 for Baltimore. Billy Ray Smith, the left tackle, 74. Fred Miller, 76, the right tackle. Roy Hilton, 85, the right end. Ray May, the left linebacker, 56. Mike Curtis, the middleman, 32. Hendricks, 83, the right linebacker. Second down, 8. Ditka's in at tight end. The tight ends carry the messages. Morton throws and hits at the 32-yard line Dwayne Thomas, who comes out of the backfield. So Morton may be throwing to his backs in those short creases. And they have a third down now and 2 to go.
And we see Craig Martin obviously going at the weak side of the Baltimore defensive line, or weaker side, I should say. Roy Hilton, Fred Miller as away from Bubba Smith. Also, we see Martin going to the air early, trying to establish his passing game, as we will see Unitas trying to establish his running game.
Hayes and Rucker are on the same side as flankers. 3rd and 2. They fake. They're going deep to Hayes. Nearly intercepted, the ball thrown short. Hayes had streaked beyond Jerry Logan, but Logan saw the short pass and came back to try and intercept.
And that's a dangerous area, right in between the deep zone. Rick Volk, Jerry Logan, as Kurt pointed out, both of them inside, outside on the deep zone. Had the ball been up a little further, Jerry Logan might have had himself an interception.
This should be a real matchup today. Baltimore has great return men. Ron Gardine averaged 12 yards a punt return, second in the conference. Jim Duncan, number 1 in kickoff returns. Dallas has an outstanding covering team on kicks and punts. Ron Whitby, booting, a high one. Fair catch call by Gardine, the rookie, on his 26th, and Baltimore will put the ball in play. Well, the defensive unit got a hand for Baltimore by their fans. This telecast presented by the authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Unitas at quarterback. Bulash and Nowatzki set behind him. Eddie Hinton left and split out to the right is Roy Jefferson. And the tight end Mackey's moved out in the slot. Bulash, big, powerful rookie who really came along at the end of the season, is down by Leroy Jordan, number 55, the middle linebacker. A 4-yard gain by Norm Bulash, who is deceiving. He weighs 220, but he runs 100 in 9.6 or 9.7. He was on his college track team at TCU. Dog with injuries during college, and the Colts took a gamble on him as their number 1 pick last year. Second down, 6. No score early. Bulash again. He's being hemmed, and he's trapped for a loss on his 25. And storming in there to get him, number 66, George Andre, the right end. Herb Adderley, the cornerback, turned the play in, number 26.
Adderley with an extremely quick force on that play. Bulash had no place to go. You see Unitas come out with some play pass action, not on a 3rd and long, but in the next series of downs.
Cal, we noticed on that kickoff, we were talking about the wind. It was against the wind that hung up there in the air. To get that ball high, it seems to be fighting the wind. 3rd and 11 now for Unitas from his 25. They're slotted to the left. Unitas flips it and completes it to the 29, but they're way short. That was the tight end, John Mackey, who caught the ball. He was down by Leroy Jordan, and Dallas holds. Both of these teams are outstanding defensive clubs. David Lee now is back in a punt formation. Now, he usually kicks a very high spiral. He can hang him up 5 seconds. Count him off. That's an ideal hanging time for a punt to get the coverage. And he kicks it low, and it was nearly blocked. Bob Hayes is upended on his 32-yard line. Dallas really put the pressure on Dave Lee on that punt. So action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is Dallas 0 and Baltimore 0.
This was Watts, 1965. A lot of us didn't know where our next meal was coming from. This is the Watts Manufacturing Company today. Minority Americans working together, making products, making profits, and making progress. From payroll deduction, we're buying stock in ourselves. Soon we'll be one of America's largest minority enterprises. A team from a full-service bank figured it all out. First they worked up the plan, then they got up the money. Now they're helping to train us. Next they'll pass out the stock. Over 3 million shares. Not the easiest way for a bank to work, but the best way to help us grow.
In actual cases like this across the country, full-service banks are helping. A full-service bank can help so many ways. This is our symbol. Helping is our business.
In the secondary for Baltimore, Charlie Stukes, the left corner, number 47, Jim Duncan, 35, the right corner, Logan and Volk are the safety men. First down, the pitch is to Thomas, and he maybe has a yard as a gang tackle in the charge led by Roy Hilton, the right end. Coming up fast, Jim Duncan, 35, the cornerback. 3 or 4 men on him. You'll be seeing the tight ends alternate for Dallas. Pettis Norman, 84, Mike Dicka, 89. The coach of Dallas, Tom Landry, calls all the plays. And he took over that assignment when Dallas had won 5, lost 4, and they haven't lost a game since. Pretty good signal caller. Second down, 10. Draw play. Dwayne Thomas to his 40 and hit by Mike Curtis, who says, I'm an animal on the field and a gentleman off.
Here's Mike Curtis, number 32, the 6-year veteran from Duke, and he is all over the field. You'll see him this afternoon. You'll also see Dallas trying to take advantage of his mobility. They'll give him what appears to be a passing situation, come with the draw, trying to get him dropping back into pass coverage.
Now they have a third down and 8, and they have Dan Reeves in. He runs a better pass pattern than Thomas. Morton is hit by 85, Roy Hilton. Morton moved up in the pocket and got rid of the pass rush, couldn't find a receiver open, and then Hilton, as you saw, crashed into him from behind to drop him.
And there you saw the key to the Baltimore defense, their linebackers. Excellent drops. They're so important in their whole defensive alignment. If they don't come up and help that line, the line's really not strong enough to hold it off by themselves. Very few lines are. And in the zone coverage, they have to make those perfect drops, which obviously they did then.
Ron Whitby now. He's averaged 41 yards a kick this year. Ted Hendricks in there trying to block it. The kick is grabbed by Jerry Logan, gambling on his 25, and fights his way back to his 32-yard line, a 7-yard return. Claxton Welch downfield to make the tackle.
I believe that's a penalty against Dallas. We'll have to see how they rule it.
Our first penalty. Now they put the ball on the Baltimore 47, Leroy Jordan, the defensive captain, talking to the official. It's illegal use of the hands against Dallas. Baltimore's ball, first down on their 47. The best field position either team's had. Craig Morton getting some rosin on his hands. Johnny Unitas sets him down. Unitas looking. Flips it. And it is intercepted by Chuck Howley. Chuck Howley coming to the 35 to the 40. Chuck Howley to the 50, and he's out of bounds. And grabbing him out was Johnny Unitas, who threw the ball. Howley, a very quick linebacker. All the Dallas linebackers are quick.
Here's Howley making that drop, trying to cover Boulash, trying to get in the area where Boulash was, and he made the perfect drop. And then a great individual effort trying to haul that ball in. Howley, excellent range, great lateral movement, and a pretty fair runner when he gets the ball. There's Johnny Unitas bringing him down.
That was a 19-yard return by Chuck Howley. Dallas now in Baltimore territory, the first time neither club has crossed the 50. No score, 9 to go in the first period. That was Rucker in motion. Dwayne Thomas ganged up on the Baltimore 45. Jim Duncan barreling in from his right cornerback spot, putting the tackle on him. Dwayne Thomas who Tom Landry has called the greatest runner in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. Just a rookie, came into his own in the 6th game against Kansas City when Calvin Hill became injured, and now he's carried that ball since. We have 2 West Texas State boys in the game today. Dwayne Thomas on the field for Dallas and Jerry Logan for the Baltimore Colts. It is 2nd down 9. Dallas in the Baltimore 45. Morton trying to dump it off. Incomplete pass. Looked like he was trying to set up a screen to one side. That was well covered by Ray May. Then he was looking for a safety valve man to get the ball to.
You know, with as many intricate plays as Tom Landry devised, that could well have been a fake screen right, fake screen left, screen up the middle, which is not inconceivable. You can certainly do it. And it looked like he had 2 wide men out to the right and left, and then trying to go up the middle to Walt Garrison.
Just over 8 minutes remaining in the first period, no score. 3rd and 9 for the Dallas Cowboys on the Baltimore Colt 45-yard line. Greg Morton, a 6-year pro veteran, University of California. He's had passing problems in the playoff games. Sets up and fires that ball, and he just missed Bob Hayes. Hayes had a chance at it. There's a flag down. They dropped the flag on the play. And we might have pass protection holding here against the Dallas Cowboys. Morton had a dislocated finger at the start of last season. Then he had a shoulder operation. They had to take 12 inches of ligaments out of a foot and put them in his shoulder. He's just been nagged with injuries the last 2 years. He's had a bad elbow the last month. Here's a penalty against the Dallas Cowboys. Back to their 31. It's holding on pass protection. Let's go down to Bill Ennis.
Kurt, on the last series of downs when the Cowboys had the ball and Craig Morton was dumped, he broke the skin on his forefinger of his passing hand, and it was hurting him when he came to the side. He was shaking it. He had some medication put on it, and on these last 2, you can tell it might be bothering him some. Let's go back up to you.
Dallas ball on their 31-yard line, 3rd and 33. And now Ray May, Bob Grant's gone in, a 4th linebacker, a 3-man rush. Coming through is Walt Garrison. He's hit by Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker of the Baltimore Colts, on the 41-yard line of Dallas.
Blaine Nye, the right guard for Dallas, and Danny Reeves in the backfield. Great blocking on the draw.
In punt formation again is Rodden Whitby. This will be his 3rd punt. Ron Gardine is deep for the Baltimore Colts. Beautiful kick. Gardine fields it, fumbles, and a recovery inside the 10. Dallas ball. Gardine couldn't handle a punt.
And here's a look at how it happened. Ron Gardine trying to get going to his left, but the ball fading a little way to his right could perhaps be attributed to this wind. But another key play on a kicking play, and a big break for the Dallas Cowboys.
Both Cliff Harris and D.D. Lewis were there. More pro games are turned around on kicks in the kicking game than any other factor. 1st and goal to go now for Dallas on the Baltimore 9-yard line. Morton feeding it off to Thomas. Thomas power running it, maybe reaching the 5 or just short of it. Charlie Stoops, the left cornerback. Roy Hilton again. Jim Duncan, all in on a play. Second down, 5.5 to go for a Dallas touchdown. No score, 6.5 minutes to play in the first period. No wonder the coaches work in their kicking game. The receiving and the coverage. Second down, 5.5. Thomas again, stonewalled nowhere.
Mike Curtis looked like he really moved in on that.
He was a great charge, Kyle, as Curtis blasted through and hit Dwayne Thomas before he could get his momentum going. Now it's 3rd and 7 to go.
Look at Mike Curtis on this one, fighting off that block on Dave Manders, and just really overpowering manners to get into the runner, Thomas.
Dan Reeves, number 30, is checked in. Dwayne Thomas comes out. They use Reeves on third down passing situations. He can catch the ball. 3rd now and 7 for a Dallas touchdown. Morton looking. And overthrows Reggie Rucker. And the field goal team is coming on. Rucker was covered there by Charlie Stoops. 4th and 7. Mike Clark is on. He hit 18 out of 27 this year. Reeves will hold for him at the 13-yard line. Slight angle from the far side. Kick is good. So Dallas is first on the scoreboard. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score, the Dallas Cowboys 3, the Baltimore Colts nothing.
Men, when you take it off with Noxema medicated shave, you know how close you can get?
That's Andy Granatelli, automotive expert and president of STP. You might not expect a guy like Granatelli to worry like everybody else about cold weather starts. But while he's inside, burning the midnight oil, out here it's freezing. So Andy uses STP oil treatment, not because he makes it, but because it works like antifreeze for your oil. Helps any engine start easier all winter long. Have your service station add STP to your oil and get the edge on winter.
The man with the jacket and black shirt is Gino Marchetti, considered by most experts the greatest defensive end who ever played football. And he's still a Colt fan, and he helps the Colts with some coaching during the years. Here's the kickoff, a short one. Running up on it is Jim Duncan, a great kickoff returner to the 30. Duncan nearly breaks it, brings it out to the 36. He's averaged 35 yards a kick return. And he usually gives Baltimore good field position after a kickoff. Claxton Welch brought him down. Baltimore did not have a turnover against Oakland to win the American Football Conference Championship. They've already had 2 turnovers in this first period. Unitas being intercepted once and then fumbling the punt away to Dallas. Baltimore's ball, first down on their 36. Unitas to Boulash. Boulash is hauled down on his 36-yard line by Bob Lilly, the sheriff. One of the greatest defensive tackles of all time. 10 years he's played with the Cowboys, a former All-American at TCU. Very agile and strong.
And you'll see Baltimore putting 2 men on him. If they probably are starting their game plan to put 2 men on him. And some clubs even have to finally resort to putting 3 men to stop Lilly. Great, as you just saw, tremendous lateral reaction.
Eddie Hinton flanks left, Roy Jefferson right. 2nd down, 10 for the Colts. Trying to establish that running game. Coming through is Nowatzki, who on the Tuesday before this regular season started was unemployed. He was cut loose by the Detroit Lions, picked up by the Colts as linebacking insurance. Injuries to Tom Matty, Jerry Hill, they made him into a running back, and he has come through, and he's been a good blocker. George Andre, the right end, made the tackle on him. A gain of 7. 3rd down, 3 for Baltimore. 4 minutes to go in the first period. Dallas is leading 3-0. Dallas putting those outside linebackers up. Boulash, he stopped at the 44 of Baltimore. Dave Edwards angling in from the left linebacker position, number 52. Number 75 is the left tackle who got underneath the play, Jethro Pugh. So the amazing Dallas defense that has allowed only 1 touchdown the last 25 quarters so far has throttled the Colts.
And they throttled their ground game, which is hurting Baltimore. On the other hand, Martin has been successful with his short passes, certainly not his long passes.
All right, in punt formation is David Lee. who averaged 45 yards a kick this year. He's kicking to either Hayes or Renfro. That's the type of high kick that this boy boots. And gets down there someone. If they can, they down it. And they downed it and carried it in.
Well, they had him on the ropes if they could have kept the ball in there.
Right.
Just too many fingers in the pot, I guess.
Too many cooks in the kitchen that time. Their momentum carried the ball across the goal line. You'll see them try and slap it back or slap it dead before it can cross that goal line. They would have had Dallas on the 1-yard line. But 2 or 3 men scrambling, and their momentum carried the ball in. Well, we have a timeout now. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score, the Dallas Cowboys 3, the Baltimore Colts nothing.
The Goodyear Custom White Tread Polyglass Tire.
Laramie, you've got a lot of driving ahead of you, mister.
Polyglass is mileage.
Sorry, mister.
Polyglass is traction.
Oh, when are they going to fix these roads?
Polyglass is strength. This is the Goodyear Custom Wide Tread Polyglass Tire. Inside, 2 fiberglass belts, plus today's most preferred tire body cord, polyester, pioneered by Goodyear. Traction. Strength. Long mileage, too. Polyglass is value. And remember, if it doesn't say Goodyear, it can't be Polyglass.
Tom Landry, with his back to you, has been a coach of the Cowboys since their inception in 1960. He watches his team, that's Ditka, will bring a play in on the next down. In motion goes Reggie Rucker. Walt Garrison, 25. He's my man. I was reared 2 miles from the rodeo grounds in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and this fella is a rodeo hand. He was a star in high school on a rodeo team. He's a bronc buster, Brahma bull rider, bulldogger. And I'll tell you, Kyle, I grew up sort of around the rodeo days, and you've got to be a tough performer.
Well, he is a tough one. He's carrying an assortment of injuries into this ball game. A very bad ankle, which has just apparently gotten well enough for him to run, and also a chipped bone in his shoulder.
Second down 5. The Cowboys in their 25. They're leading 3-0. In motion is Dwayne Thomas. Here's a draw to Garrison. Garrison has a first down to his 31-yard line. He's hit by Billy Ray Smith, who's going to call it quits after today. He'll retire. Tom Landry sending in Pettis Norman now with a play. You'll see Norman, 84, replace Ditka, 89, and Ditka come back in. The tight ends bring the plays in. Paul Brown used to use the guards as his messenger boys. Landry uses his tight ends. Dallas on their own 30. That's the first down. Here's Dwayne Thomas. And he's out of bounds on the 33-yard line of the Cowboys. Ted Hendricks and Ray May, the 2 linebackers, took him out. Ralph Neely, this is a great offensive line the Cowboys have, maybe the best in the business. Neely, 73 at left tackle. Nyland, 76 at left guard. Dave Manders, 51 at center. Blaine Nye, 61 at right guard. Rayfield Wright, number 70 at right tackle. The interior linemen don't get the glare of publicity, but you can't win without them. They're the protectors for the passer, the men that help move the ball. Morton making a screen this way. There's Reeves. Dan Reeves to the 35. Trying to pick up some blocking. And he's to the 47-yard line. A first down again for the Cowboys. Charlie Stoops brought him down. Dan Reeves, who wanted to try something new this year, become a coach. He's a player coach.
Now watch Martin go back. Fake to his right. That's the fake screen right, screen left call. And here it comes out. Excellent protection. Ralph Neely, 73 out. Cutting back across field now, picking up some blockers, and then the rest of it pretty much on his own. This, of course, is fake screen one way, screen the other way. Gets those linebackers really moving when that quarterback goes back, looks off to his right like he's throwing that screen. They'll take off over there as though they have read the screen, and they drop it off to the opposite side.
First down, Morton faking again. He's throwing deep to Hayes, and he's got him. Bob Hayes catches the ball. He's down at the 13. There's a flag down in back of the line of scrimmage. In a fight, Bob Hayes and Jerry Logan going at it. There was a flag drop in back of the line of scrimmage. Here's the catch by Hayes.
And here you'll see Stoops just lost sight of the ball. His back's to it. Had he turned around, the ball should never have been completed. But Stoops not, using his body, just trying to keep his eye on that runner, and there's the penalty.
A call roughing a passer against Miller of Baltimore. After that ball is released, the referee is dedicated to protecting a passer. He's a sitting duck. Miller roughed him, so they tacked the penalty on after the completion, and Dallas now has a first and goal to go on the Baltimore 6. The two tight ends are in now, Norman and Ditka, to get some blocking power. Thomas and Garrison are messed up. Now they go into a split back formation. They fake, and Morton throws the ball, and they had it wide open. Wide open was Dwayne Thomas over there with Neely to convoy him into the end zone. Dallas is coming out throwing today, and they're confusing Baltimore right now. They've really got them confused on defense.
And as you said, Kurt, no one anywhere near Ralph Neely and Dwayne Thomas. They were over near where the official is up at the top of your screen, all alone, about 10 yards away from any Baltimore Colt defender.
Bob Hayes comes out. Going in now is Calvin Hill. Calvin Hill, Rookie of the Year last year, beaten out by Dwayne Thomas this year. Two tremendous young running backs for the future. Now they're in the old high-button shoe, straight T formation. There's Dwayne Thomas sliding off and hit on a great play by Jim Duncan, who did his job as a cornerback out there naked against him and turned him in. Jim Duncan, who's made two good tackles coming up from the cornerback position. It is now on the 8-yard line, 3rd and 8 for Dallas on the Baltimore 8 for a touchdown. Calvin Hill comes out, and Bob Hayes replaces him. It's been all Dallas in his first period.
Dwayne Thomas limping off the field, favoring his right ankle, tears, or his right knee.
There's the gun, and that's the end of the first quarter in the 1971 Super Bowl game with a score. The Dallas Cowboys 3, the Baltimore Colts nothing.
Hey, JW, hey, look at what I got. A brand new dart swinger. Ain't she a beauty?
I done heard about it.
See, I got this special deal down to Dodge Boys. They got the...
Buford, turn in your badge.
Say what?
One thing I can't stand as a law officer accepted preferential treatment.
You mean a bribe?
I mean a special deal. White side walls, wheel covers, vinyl roof, and all that stuff.
But I paid for all that. Wait, look at the sticker.
And the automatic transmission?
What about the automatic transmission?
What did it cost you?
Nothing.
Give me the badge, Buford.
That's part of the Swinger Automatic Special, JW. Special equipped Dodge Dart comes with the automatic transmission at no extra charge. Go ask them.
Ask him your own self. You're entitled to one phone call.
The new Swinger Automatic Special. So great last year, we brought it back for seconds. See it at your Dodge dealer today.
Much obliged, Dodge boys.
Today's game is being played for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Vince coached the very first Super Bowl winner. Those who knew him knew he hated to lose, but he couldn't beat cancer. Brian Piccolo, the gutsy Chicago Bear running back, gave everything he had, but cancer cut him down too. You know, scientists tell us that through research, we're close to beating this dread disease. The National Football League asked you for your help in making that victory come sooner. Send your contributions, whatever you can afford, to Super Bowl Cancer Fund, Box 800, Grand Central Station, New York, New York, 117. We owe it to Vince and Brian. This is Kurt Gowdy, Kyle Rote, Bill Ennis, second period. Dallas was a little confused, you saw, in their last formation. Rucker started off the field, went back. That might have bombed out that wide open play they had. Here's Morton. He's hit. He throws the ball, but a flag is down. In there on him is Billy Ray Smith, number 74.
I think we'll get a grounding penalty. You rarely see it called, but I think that's what it'll be.
If this is called, this is the first one we've seen this year, Kyle.
And the official who called it was standing right behind Martin. Looked like Martin was trying to hit one of his linemen and then suddenly veered away and threw it into the ground.
15-yard penalty moves the ball back to the 23-yard line of Baltimore. That's intentionally grounding. Loss of a down, so the field goal team is on. And now Mike Clark, who kicked a 13-yard field goal with 5:32 to go in the first period, will try again. Dan Reeves will spot the ball for him on the Baltimore 30. Flag is down. The kick is good, but a flag has been dropped. Now let's see what it's about. It's offside against Baltimore, being declined by Dallas, and they grab a 6-0 lead. Let's quickly go down to Bill Ennis.
Kurt, on a series of plays a moment ago, Dwayne Thomas slightly twisted his right knee, but he has been running here at the bench. We checked with the trainer. He should be all right and should be back in action shortly. Back up to you.
Thanks for that report, Bill. And just checking my running play-by-play sheet, Baltimore's deepest penetration has been to its own 44-yard line. Baltimore has not crossed the 50-yard line yet. There's Thomas. Jim Duncan and Ron Gardine will receive this kick, one of them from Mike Clark. He booms it. It is coming to Duncan. A real threat. He's to the 10, 15, to the 20, and to the 25. As we said, I think one of the interesting matchups today is Gardine on punts, Duncan on kickoffs against a superb Dallas team covering kicks. First down, Baltimore on their 24. And now let's see if 37-year-old John Unitas can figure out and try and crack this Dallas defense as he sets him down. So far, he's not been able to move him. And he throws under the gun again. Boy, they're putting the heat on him. D.D. Lewis was in there. He was trying to hit Eddie Hinton. Unitas throwing under pressure, and you saw Hinton double team. Dallas has had 3 first downs, Baltimore none. There have been 2 turnovers, both by Baltimore. Dallas has not made a mistake so far. 2nd and 10 for Baltimore.
And on field level, the wind is now into Unitas' face. He may have a little difficulty if he tries to throw one of those delicately timed passes. He may have to fire every short pass he has.
2nd and 10, fakes to Boulash, and that's incomplete to Jefferson. You know, Kyle, 2 years ago we covered the Colts and the Jets, and so far everything's sort of going wrong for Baltimore, almost like it was 2 years ago against New York.
Really is, and however, I think they're fortunate just to be trailing by 6 points. They've had an interception, a fumble. Then Hayes caught the long pass with the roughing the quarterback penalty, put them down to the 6, and they're just out of this with just 6 points. I think they're fortunate at this point in the ballgame.
Baltimore's gained only 4 yards passing. Unitas is 1 out of 4. On 3rd and 10, he's throwing, and it's over the head of Hinton. That is going to be an incomplete pass. If it was not touched by Dallas, Dallas may have ticked that ball. You cannot have a completion from one offensive man to another offensive man.
And that's what the Cowboys are arguing. We'll see if we can see it. And here comes the ball. We'll see how many touch it. No, he didn't quite. Yes, it looked like somebody tipped it. It looked like it might have been Eddie Hinton. And there's Mackey, 88. Well, we'll try another look. Here goes Mackey. We'll see if he touched it. No, that was Mackey who we were looking for Hinton. Apparently he's not. The Baltimore Colts have their touchdown. Dallas still complaining, and apparently with some reason.
I think Cornell Green might have ticked it, say the official. We're going to explain that to you again after we get rid of this extra point. Maybe a commercial. Morrow holding. The kick by O'Brien is blocked, and it's a tie game. Baltimore got a big break. Coming through was Mark Washington to block the extra point. You cannot have a pass completion if the ball deflects from one offensive receiver to another. However, if it was touched in between by the defense, then it can be a completion. So evidently the official saw that a Dallas player, I think it was Cornell Green, might have kicked that ball into the hands of John Mackey, so it went as a 76-yard touchdown play. A lucky one for the Baltimore Colts. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is now tied, Dallas 6 and Baltimore 6.
Tungsten steel, tough, hard. No metal holds a sharper edge. Tungsten steel. That's why Persana went to Sweden and worked with precision steel experts to develop a razor blade made of tungsten steel. No metal holds a sharper edge. Introducing the totally new tungsten tough Persana 74.
The Persana 74.
This is the sharpest, longest-lasting razor blade made.
The tungsten blade means a smoother shave. Persana 74.
Not just a coating, but a totally new blade steel. New Persana 74. Tungsten tough to smooth out your shave.
The Persana 74.
Jim O'Brien now will kick off for Baltimore with Mark Washington back deep and Calvin Hill. The kick is coming. Well, they let it go, and Hill is, what's he going to do? He downs it. Here's this play again, Kyle.
And we'll see. The ball was intended for Eddie Hinton or Mackey. We'll look and see if Cornell Green did touch it. There it's going over Hinton's head. Now we'll see if Cornell Green tips it right here. Coming down right there. See if he touches it. And it could have been touched or it could not have been touched. Really, it's hard to determine. But at any rate, John Mackey hauled it in.
It's a touchdown, 76 yards. It's a tie game. Dallas now on their own 20. Greg Morton beating Thomas, and he is scissored by number 56, Ray May, who came in from his left linebacker position to make the hit on him. You know, it's been an odd thing. In that pregame show, Joe Namath predicted that Dallas would not be able to run as well against Baltimore as they thought. But Dallas has been throwing a lot more than everybody thought they would. They're supposed to come out and play a strict ball control game, but they haven't. They're on their 18-yard line, 2nd and 12. Tie game, 6-6. Look out, get back there, Bubba Smith. Morton now under the gun from Bubba Smith, and it's incomplete. And Morton was dumped by big Bubba Smith. 295 pounds of it. Tom Landry sending in a new play. And also, with the tight end Norman going in, he's sending in Dan Reeves, his back. It is now 3rd down and 12. Morton now is 3 out of 8. Unitas is 2 out of 5. Dallas has controlled the ball in this game. They've controlled everything but one play. On a deflection from one man to another with a Dallas man touching it in between, saying the official. And Dallas is hopping mad. He dumps it off. It's incomplete to Garrison, the fullback, number 32. And now a punt formation coming up. And after that touchdown strike by Baltimore and holding Dallas, let's see if Baltimore gets the momentum going. Ron Woodby will punt. Ron Gardine, the rookie from Arizona, will be back. Game tied 6-6. Greg Morton coming to the bench. He booms it low into Gardine on his 38. Look at that coverage by Mark Washington. He was really down there, pouncing on it. Mark Washington covering. Timeout. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is tied. Dallas 6, Baltimore 6.
I'm John Cameron Swayze, reminding you that H&R Block will prepare, double-check, and guarantee your tax return starting as low as $5 and make sure you receive every legitimate deduction. This year, more than 8 million families will trust H&R Block. You should be one of them. Just look for this sign. There's no finer tax service in America.
Find 3 convenient H&R Block offices in Buena Park, Canoga Park, and Anaheim. H&R Block, a good place to place your confidence.
The Oppenheimer Fund is a mutual investment fund whose management will take what it considers prudent risks in an effort to make your money grow. Ask your securities dealer for a free prospectus on the Oppenheimer Fund.
You push a hack, you hear everything. So you don't have to make up your own mind about things, like with this Dr. Pepper. Look, how do you know you won't like it if you don't try it?
The Dallas bench, already a controversial play in the first half. Dallas leading 6-0, widely outplaying Baltimore when Baltimore struck. Unitas trying to hit Eddie Hinton, bounced off his hands into the hands of Mackey for a touchdown and touched in between by a Dallas defender. Otherwise, it would have been an incomplete pass. And there's the charge on the right end of Dallas, number 66, but he may have been drawn off on some illegal movement, illegal procedure. Vogel, number 72, the interior lineman moved. Let's go down to Bill Ennis.
Kurt, during the timeout, we called Norm Schachter, the referee, over. He explained what happened. He checked with the back judge. The back judge told him a blue jersey touched the football between the 2 receivers. He could not give a number. The back judge could not either. He just said it was a blue jersey, and there was no question in his mind. Let's go back to you.
All right, with Cornell Green that touched it, as you saw in the replay. Boulash to the 35, and now the Colts call him Big Boo. That's who. Picks up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down, 13 for Baltimore. They're having trouble running against this very quick Dallas defense. Earl Morrill on the sideline. He's the alternate quarterback. He was here 2 years ago. Unitas was on the sideline that day. Unitas coming in late in the game. 2nd down and 13 to go. Baltimore in the 35. We're tied up 6-all. And hit again is Boulash on his 37. That was Cornell Green, the strong safety, who came up along with 63 Larry Cole, the left end, and Jethro Pugh, 75, the left tackle. Unitas is trying to get that running game going so he can open up that passing attack, but he can't do it. Dallas has just been too quick.
I think the way Cornell Green has been playing on 2nd down situations, uptight, watching that back. We might look for Johnny the next time he has a 2nd down situation to go deep.
3rd and 11. Unitas, strong rush on him. Sideline pass over the head of Eddie Hinton, 33, who's being covered by Mel Renfro, one of the great defensive backs in pro football. And you saw Cole in there. Unitas is getting a hard rush today. He has not had much time every time he's thrown. 4th and 11 and a punt formation with David Lee now to kick. Bob Hayes, Mel Renfro back as the 2 safety men. 11:48 to go in the first half. The game is tied 6-6. A low kick could get a return on this with Hayes on his 26 to the 30 and skips out of bounds on his 33-yard line. This 5th Super Bowl game being carried on 510 television stations, 720 radio outlets. Live television coverage via satellite to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Mexico, the Virgin Islands, Costa Rica, and Canada. And the first telecast of a Super Bowl game to be seen via satellite on NBC's affiliate KENI Television in Anchorage, Alaska. And in Great Britain, They're going to watch a delayed report of this game. Maybe a little confused over there today in Great Britain. First down on the 33. Here's the pitch to Thomas. Thomas battles his way to his 35, and he's hit by Rick Volk, the safety man. We're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
Inquiry with Sheriff Peter Pitchess at 5 on KNBC Los Angeles.
Now we said that Baltimore is not running against Dallas, and neither is Dallas running against Baltimore. They've only had 30 yards rushing. The Colts have had only 12 rushing. Fake draw. The pass incomplete to Bob Hayes. Hit the turf. Morton on a play action, trying to make Baltimore think run and then pass. Fake to Garrison on the draw, and the pass was in front of Bob Hayes, who had curled into that zone open.
And you can just see the pressure in a game like this. Both quarterbacks, Morton and Unitas, offline on a number of their passes, throwing it down into the ground, trying to make sure they guide that thing so well. They're holding on to the ball just a little too long, and it's taking it right down into this artificial turf.
Morton is 3 out of 10. And on third down, it's off to Reeves. Reeves nearly dropped the ball, and he's stopped on his 34-yard line by Ray May and Mike Curtis, the two linebackers in there on him. So now it'll be 4th and 9, and Ron Woodby comes in. This is turning into a punting duel here in the first half with two very tough defenses. That's why they're both in the Super Bowl, because they have great defenses.
To beat this Baltimore defense, you've got to beat their linebackers. Again, they are the key to it.
Ron Gardine, the safety man. Flag goes down. A high kick. Gardine is calling for a fair catch on his 22-yard line. But a flag has been dropped. Offside against Dallas. Let's see what Baltimore wants to do.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them have him kick it over. That's, we'll see. They may take.
That was a 44-yard kick from scrimmage with no return, a very effective punt. 10 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the first half. The game is tied 6-6. They're going to bring it back.
A key point in this decision is that it is 4th down and about 7 to go, and with the penalty, of course, it'll bring it out to about 12, 13 yards to go.
They looked over to McCaffrey, the Baltimore coach. He gave him the decision, accept the penalty. Now it's back on the 30-yard line. Dallas has run off twice as many plays as Baltimore. Once again, Ron Woodby, who in his senior year at Tennessee led the nation's college kickers in punting. And he boots this one away. Another beauty, fair catch called by Gardine. He'd already called for the catch on his 21-yard line. So by accepting the penalty, Baltimore lost a yard. Excellent kicking by Ron Woodby. Timeout. And action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is Dallas 6 and Baltimore 6.
Certain things make you uncontrollably happy. Others leave you quietly pleased. But some provide a richer pleasure, like the satisfaction you get by giving your family basic financial security. Your New York life insurance agent knows a lot about this kind of happiness. Helping people find it is his full-time career. How can life insurance make your family's future happier? Your New York life agent has the answer.
Here it is. Solid luxury. New Charger SE, completely restyled this year.
Sir, I'd love a Charger, but...
Oh, family man, huh?
Yeah?
I'll tell you what. Looking for economy, good mileage.
Yeah.
Lots of room, of course.
Right on. What do you got?
How about this?
A Charger? You're putting me on.
New Dodge Charger. If your family's too young for square wheels, you can't afford not to be Dodge material.
To show you how tenacious these two teams have been on defense, we've had only 4 first downs in the first half, 3 by Dallas, 1 by Baltimore, and that was on that 76-yard deflected pass. 12 yards rushing for Baltimore, 30 yards rushing for Dallas. They've stopped each other on the ground. In the air, 79 yards for Baltimore, but 76 of them on one play. 59 yards for Dallas in the air. First down, Unitas. Trying to dump it off. Incomplete. And he was trying to... Well, he had some defenders there. He really had no receiver. He had no receiver there, but there were defensive men in the area, so it's not intentionally grounded. Johnny's unhappy.
I can't think, but help but think that he threw the ball away. He saw Norm Bulice a little bit trying to come out in that area, but he also saw one of the Cowboy defenders coming in on Bulice, so I think he sort of dumped that away.
Unitas 2 out of 7. Bulice trying to swing around. Charlie Waters, a safety man, a rookie, 41. What a play he made. He did not make a tackle in college until he played in the college all-star game. He's from Clemson. They put him in a defense. That's the first tackle he ever made. He was an offensive man in high school and college. He's turned into quite a rookie safety man, a free safety. On the 21-yard line of Baltimore, they have a 3rd down and 9. The game is tied 6-all. 2 field goals by Dallas, a 76-yard pass play by Baltimore. Baltimore's extra point was blocked. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Fake draw play. There's a rush again on Unitas. He'll have to run it. He's to the 25. He fumbles. It's recovered by Jethro Pugh. Jethro Pugh on the ball, number 75. Chuck Howley hit Unitas and jarred the ball loose. The 3rd turnover by Baltimore. 1 interception and 2 fumbles.
And there's Unitas, and he was moving around and in pretty good shape. And number 66 coming in there, George Andre, put the immediate pressure on him. There's Howley hitting him, and as well as Jordan. I will take another look at this play with Johnny all alone. And here comes the pressure up the middle. Unitas trying to break away. And there's the hit. Jordan and Howley both hitting him.
First down, Dallas in the Baltimore 29. Rucker in motion. Thomas on the power sweep. And he's hit. He was trying to follow Blaine Nye, the right guard, and Bubba Smith made the stop. It's on the 24-yard line of Baltimore. The play didn't look like much, but it picked up 5 yards. There goes Reeves in the backfield, and Ditka to bring a play in at tight end.
One reason it went, they haven't really been able to get outside of Baltimore up until now. That time, however, Walt Garrison was able to hook Ted Hendricks, the outside linebacker, in. Able the runner to get outside, Thomas.
That's Pettis Norman, who seems to be shaken up. Reeves now in the backfield. Hayes is spread to the left. 2nd down, 5 for Dallas. They're on the Baltimore 24. They're in a double wing setup. Rucker in motion. Morton, plenty of time. The pass complete to Reeves. Reeves is out of bounds inside the 10. He's out on the 6.5-yard line. They put him in. He's the best pass receiver of the Dallas backs, and you can see why they put him in there.
And that's what Dallas is doing, beating the linebackers. Reeves going out on Ray May.
They caught Baltimore in a blitz that time. 8 minutes to go in the half. The game tied 6-all. Rucker is spread to the right. 1st and goal to go for Dallas. Outside of one play, they have been the superior offensive team today. A fake. The pass to Thomas on the screen. They wipe him out, and Thomas is in for the touchdown. Dwayne Thomas, and he got a great block by the tight end, Pettis Norman.
And some excellent faking in the backfield by Morton. And there it is, number 33, Dwayne Thomas. There's 20, Jerry Logan coming up. Stepped inside of Logan, just over the goal line.
Dwayne Thomas, who used to be a blocking back. Can you imagine him a blocking back? He was a great one for Mercury Morris at West Texas State. And Mercury said today, how could they ever use him as a blocker? I should have been blocking for him. The kick by Clark, good. So the Cowboys have made their own luck today. They had one bad break, if they want to be a Cowboy fan, a deflected pass.
Another look at the touchdown play. Morton, good faking, as we mentioned, in the backfield. Dropping it out to Dwayne Thomas. Thomas stepping inside of Jerry Logan, number 20. And just falling over the goal line as Billy Ray Smith came in to make the tackle.
Kyle Baltimore has had 3 turnovers. They fumbled the ball away twice. Unitas has fumbled once. Gartine fumbled a punt, and they've had a pass interception. And Dallas has not had a turnover, and that's the story so far. Duncan takes it on the 8. Comes to the 20. He's up to the 30. This is a typical Duncan return as he runs it back to his 38-yard line. And the tackle is made there by Richmond Flowers, a former high hurdler at the University of Tennessee. Remember the Bing Crosby Pro-Am Golf later today on NBC, live from Pebble Beach. First down, the Baltimore Colts trailing 13-6 on their own 38-yard line. Now Watsky and Bulash set behind Unitas. Jefferson right, Hinton left. The pass is... There's going to be a flag. That's an interception, but I think you're going to have an interference call here. The pass was intended for Jefferson, and we have pass interference on Herb Adderley. Dallas is conscious to the outside on defense, and Baltimore's trying to curl their men to the inside. That's pass interference.
Here's a look at Roy Jefferson running this pattern. He'll be picked up by number 26, Herb Adderley, as he does that little turn in. Adderley coming in. And the ball, before it got there, that was the contact the official was pointing out.
Baltimore now, the Dallas 49. Unitas quickly to Jefferson, complete out of bounds on the 41 of Dallas. Adderley drove him out. This is third Super Bowl game for Adderley, 2 with Green Bay. He was happy there, unhappy up there, and they traded him to Dallas. Adderley is the type of cornerback that if you're a receiver, you regret catching the ball. He really racks you up after you catch it. Second down, 2 to go. Baltimore on the Dallas 41. 13-6, Dallas leading. Just under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Bulash. Bulash to the 37-yard line, hit by Chuck Howley, the 12-year vet from West Virginia. Number 54, and it's a first down for Baltimore. Now the clock shows 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Baltimore on the Dallas 37. Outside of that 176-yard pass play, this is the first time that Baltimore has put on a drive and crossed the 50-yard line. Now Johnny Hughes seems to have them moving. Fakes to Bulash. He throws the ball deep to Hinton. It's intercepted. Mel Renfro intercepting. Unitas knocked down as he let it go. George Andre hit him. There's Mel Renfro who intercepted. He intercepted 4 during the year. 4 turnovers now by Baltimore. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles.
There it is again, and Unitas looked like he got shaken up a little bit on the play after he threw it. Down, I don't know whether, at least he sort of hobbled off, looked like he was in a little bit of pain.
Well, he's had a rush on him today. That was Andre. They've all rushed him. He has had very little time on any pass he's thrown today. Probably the most intense pressure he's had all year. Oakland did not pressure him. First down for Dallas on the 15, their own 15. And coming up to the 17 or 18-yard line is Dwayne Thomas. And he's hit there by Billy Ray Smith, 74, and Ray May, number 56.
Getting back to this Dallas rush on Unitas, actually there have been a couple of Red Dogs, but not a consistent Red Dogging pattern. And this has been done pretty much by that front 4. Andre, Lilly, Hugh, Cole. Tremendous pressure on Johnny.
On that play, he had Eddie Hinton wide open, but he threw the ball too late. As he hit by Andre, let it go, and Renfro picked it off. It was too short. Thomas, or Garrison. This is Thomas running that sweep. Wayne Thomas, Rick Volk, and number 32, Mike Curtis. And they'll spot the ball now on the 22-yard line of Dallas. They'll have a 3rd down and 3.
Once again, we saw the reason Thomas has been having such a great season running the latter part of the year. Walt Garrison, number 32, and we see Earl Morrow warming up on the sideline. Apparently, Unitas was shaken up to the extent that we may see Morrow in the ball game.
3rd and 3 for the Cowboys. They're ahead 13-6. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Baltimore nearly jumping offside. They may have. Thomas running the ball. He's over his 25 to his 26. It's good for a first down, but a flag has been dropped. Greg Morton, the captain on offense. Here's a signal, offside. You saw 2 Colts jump. Looked like the 2 interior tackles. Johnny Unitas, who has been under the real gun today with a tremendous Dallas pass rush, evidently something under his right shoulder. It's an ice pack he has on to prevent swelling. First down for Dallas. Morton, a screen to Thomas. Thomas being pursued by Bubba Smith, gets away from him. What a move that was. Looked like a ballet dancer on that one. What a move as he spun away from Bubba Smith, who appeared to have him hemmed in. It's Tom Landry sending a play in now. Watch this move.
And a good fake to Garrison. Now just a little lob out to Thomas. And convoyed there by Rayfield Wright, 70, Blaine Nye, 61. And a great spin by Thomas himself.
That was a 6-yard gain. Thomas now has 20 yards on the ground. Garrison has 21. The Colts have gained only 17 yards rushing. Play action pass. And they screen it to Rucker, the flanker. Flag goes down. Rucker is ridden to the turf by number 21, Rick Volk. But they dropped the flag.
Looks like we have pushing, offensive pushing.
That was Bob Hayes. I think he had offensive pushing. Bob Hayes was the man that committed a foul. And they're talking now to Fred Miller, the defensive captain, number 76. Hayes was trying to aid his runner and committed the foul. And they're hurting Baltimore, Kyle, with those wide screens.
They're hooking Chet Hendricks on some of these running plays. And then, of course, the wide screen. This offensive line of Dallas able to get out away from that line and out in front of that pass receiver on those little flat passes. Extremely mobile, extremely quick lineman.
Ball is spotted on the Dallas 18-yard line. Offensive interference. That's 7 penalties against the Cowboys, 83 yards already. Baltimore's had only 2 penalties. On the 18-yard line, it'll be 2nd down and 19. Dallas leading 13-6. 3.5 minutes to play in the half. A release to Reeves. Reeves has come in to do a fine job of spot performing today. Is out on the 29-yard line of Dallas, driven out by the safety man, Jerry Logan.
And Martin showing a great deal of patience, great deal of discipline, not trying to fight that zone. Early in the ball game, he went up a couple of times.
Dennis Norman brings the new play in. 3rd and 8 for Dallas. 2 field goals. Dwayne Thomas romps over for a touchdown with the extra point. Baltimore has had a 76-yard pass play. Deflection from Hinton to Cornell Green off Green's hands to Mackey. And they had their extra point blocked. On 3rd and 8, here's a big rush against Morton. And Roy Hilton's on him, 85. And number 76 is Fred Miller. But Hilton got to him first. That's 3 times Hilton has penetrated deep today for Baltimore. Let's quickly go down to Bill Ennis.
Kurt, we have a report. We checked the Baltimore bench on Johnny Unitas. He was hit very hard with an interception a moment ago. He has an ice pack on his ribs. He is having a little trouble breathing. He says he's all right. Earl Morrow continues to warm up. Let's go back up to you.
On the right side of Unitas, he has been hit in the ribs. He has sore ribs. He says he's all right. That is typical statement that Unitas would say, but evidently he's not. Here's the kick now by Whitby. It's a wobbler. Gardine gambles on his 46, nearly has his head torn off by number 43 of the Cowboys, and that is Cliff Harris, who nearly came in with the head and the helmet and everything. Earl Morrill now comes on the quarterback. Earl Morrill, who threw 4 touchdown passes against the Jets in the last season game for Baltimore, as Unitas is injured. And it's a first down for Baltimore on their own 48-yard line. Morrill has time, completes the pass to Eddie Hinton, and the ex-Oklahoma star has a first down on the Dallas 26. Eddie Hinton, second in the American Conference in pass receiving.
And here's Earl Morrill, Player of the Year 1968, firing to Eddie Hinton. Hinton across the middle, brought down by Mel Renfro. It's the big curl-in pattern, down and across.
26-yard pass play, Morrill to Hinton. First down Baltimore on the Dallas 26. 13-6 Dallas. Ooh, what a pass check block that was. Hinton can't get it. And it's broken up out there by Mel Renfro, one of the best in football, one-on-one. Used to be a safety man. Right cornerback, Kyle, used to be the weak position with the Cowboys, and that's why they put Renfro there this year.
They got a couple of good ones now, Renfro, Adderley. And, of course, young Charlie Waters at safety position, surrounded by experience. What a great way to break in a young player. Surround him with Cornell Green, 9 years, Herb Adderley, 10 years experience.
Dallas usually plays the run on first down, and if they blitzed only 15% this year. They'll do it on this down. Let's watch. 2nd and 10. And they raise up and hit Roy Jefferson to the 11. He's going. The whistle had not blown, and he goes to the 5, and a flag is down, and a foul call on Dallas. It's on Leroy Jordan.
And here's the play. Morrill firing into Jefferson. And that looks like, well, we'll try and pick his number up in just a moment, who got injured on the play. Here's Jefferson going down. Just a little curl in. And that's number 41 coming in.
They knocked Waters Jefferson when he hit. Well, Jefferson's a big, strong flanker. And when he hit the safety man Waters, he injured him. And then at the 5-yard line, Leroy Jordan committed a foul. The penalty goes half the distance to the goal, and now it is 1st and goal to go on the 2-yard line. A timeout. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is the Dallas Cowboys 13 and Baltimore 6.
For some reason, people think all airlines are the same. They're not. Several airlines bought 747s. But TWA built the first 747 terminal. TWA was the first airline to give you private customs and immigration facilities. Most other airlines still share. Only TWA gives you a choice of 2 movies on every movie flight. At busier airports, we moved our departures to 15 minutes before the hour. So thousands of our passengers beat the crowds every day. For years, the coach passenger has helped pay our bills. We're paying him back with a whole new coach service on TWA ambassador flights. Whether you're flying in the United States or around the world, it pays to spend your money carefully. All airlines are not the same.
When Roy Jefferson took that pass, his knee didn't touch the ground because Waters was underneath him. That's when Waters became injured, and that's why Jefferson could get up and keep running from the 11 down to the 5. And now Earl Morrill has moved this team in 3 plays from his own 48-yard line to the Dallas 2.5-yard line. A first down and goal to go. They have the 2 tight ends, Mackey and Mitchell, in the game. They have Bulash and Nowaski behind Morrill. And it's off to Bulash, and he's stopped. That blue wall with Lilly and Pugh in there underneath. Renfro coming in to help, number 20. And number 54, Chuck Howley. And as they untangle, it's still on the 2-yard line. 2nd down and 2 to go. We have 1 minute and 33 seconds to go in the first half. Baltimore has a chance to go in front here in the closing seconds of this half with a touchdown and a point. We'll see if Dallas can stop them. They've allowed only 1 touchdown in the last 26 quarters. And Boulash trying to fight his way in. He can't do it. A big hit on him there by George Andre and Tom Stinchik. Now it is 3rd down and still 2 to go. What do you call, Kyle?
Well, whether Earl Morrow goes with it or not, Unitas always likes that play-action pass. It's a slant to the fullback or the halfback with them continuing on out into the flat. We'll see which play select.
3rd down and 2 to go for a Baltimore touchdown. That could tie them with the Cowboys. Boulash stopped again. What a defense down there in that goal line. They haven't budged an inch. We're in the last 25 seconds now, the half. And Baltimore is calling for time with the clock showing 21 seconds to go in the half. Earl Morrow will go to the bench and talk to his coach. They had the ball on the 2.5-yard line. 3 cracks at the 2. A 4th and 2 to go for a touchdown with only 21 seconds to go. Dallas leading 13-6. Now what do? You go with a try and get the sure 3 points, which should be. Don McCafferty, a rookie coach, 10 years an assistant coach at Kent State, turned down an assistant coaching job with Baltimore one time. 2 years later, Weeb Eubank gave him a second chance. He accepted it. 11 years as an assistant coach with the Colts. Shula left, and now Don McCafferty is the man. And right now, to his other 15-year veteran quarterback, Earl Morrow. They don't have the kicker in there. They're going for it. 4th and 2 to go for a Baltimore touchdown. Dallas leading 13-6. Baltimore's driven from their 48 to the 2. Morrow has moved the team better than Unitas did. They seem to get better protection. Unitas is injured with bad ribs. They're going to pass for it. They shoot it out, and it's incomplete. They're trying to hit Tom Mitchell, the tight end, and he stumbled going into the end zone. Mitchell was trying to slither through. He stumbled. He was delayed coming off the line, held up.
And also on a 4th down pass into the end zone, it normally comes out to the 20-yard line. That's what it'll be.
What a magnificent goal line defense by the Dallas Cowboys.
Mitchell trying to fight his way through that line on a fake running play, trying to fake the block and slip on through. But the linebackers just chucked him up in there. He couldn't get out.
16 seconds to go. Morton to Garrison to the 22. The tackle made by number 74, Billy Ray Smith and Mike Curtis. And the clock will move out now. This will wind up the first half. And we've had an excellent first half here. Baltimore turned the ball over 4 times, and they couldn't score on the 2-yard line with 4 cracks. So Dallas, at the end of the first half of the 1971 Super Bowl game, the score, the Dallas Cowboys 13 and the Baltimore Colts 6.
Lots of credit cards are good in your hometown. The American Express card is good worldwide. The American Express card, the new money worldwide.
Well, yes, sir, I can get that number for you. But did you know you could dial the number yourself, sir? Yes, sir. You know, when I tell people they can dial long-distance calls themselves, they probably think I'm trying to save myself work. But actually, I'm trying to save them money. On a 3-minute coast-to-coast call, you can save from 25 to 40 cents if you dial the call yourself. So whenever you make a long-distance call, dial it yourself. On most out-of-state calls from your home or office, you'll save.
We'll have halftime activities for the 1971 Super Bowl game after this pause for station identification.
It's guys like Rowan and Martin that make the Lone Ranger wear a mask.
When I put on a red pantsuit and my husband doesn't notice, that's bad. So I watch my calories. That's good. There's only 2 calories in a big, bubbly 8-ounce glass of Fresca. No sugar, no cyclamates. It's an honest-to-goodness diet soft drink. I like Fresca.
Let's go to the Tropicana in Las Vegas, where Harrison Frank presents the winners. Clothing brands that put you way ahead in quality, value, fashion. Botany 500 Clothing, Steinblock Clothes, Austin Leeds hand-shaped suits, Christian Dior Clothing. At Harrison Frank, you choose from the greatest clothing selection in the West. You'll find exactly the style that suits your personality, your particular taste. When you buy your clothing at Harrison Frank, you never gamble. You always pick a winner. Harrison Frank, 43 stores throughout the West, where the winning fashions are. Charge it.
Folks, trade in your old Volkswagen on a brand new one. Is this the new one?
Which Way, America, today at 5:30.
Super Bowl V is brought to you by Chrysler Corporation, extra care in engineering. Your host today, your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Okay. Everything all right? From Cape Girardeau, Missouri now, the Southeast Missouri State College proudly presents its Golden Eagle Marching Band. The director is Leroy Mason, and their formation is joined by the South Dade High School Marching Group. So here we are with Dallas leading 13-6 at halftime, and let's watch the entertainment.
From Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Southeast Missouri State College proudly presents its Golden Eagles Marching Band. The state of Missouri celebrates 150 years of statehood during 1971. And it is the wish of all Missourians to invite their fellow Americans to capture a glimpse of history and enjoy the beauty of the great outdoors in the Show Me State during this sesquicentennial year. The Golden Eagles begin their show today by forming a symbol of all of our United States. From coast to coast, the National Football League, like our great nation of 50 states, stands strong and united today. This year marks the completion of its first 50 years of competition, and the league has grown to 26 teams, divided into the National and American Football Conferences. Here is a Golden Eagle salute to both conferences. During the past years, the Golden Eagles' next maneuver has received nationwide acclaim. The band prepares to present its Times Square marquee as it marches into its lineup position. watch the intricate maneuver made famous by the Golden Eagles as they salute the winner of this Super Bowl game today with letters floating endlessly across the field. S. U. In a map outline of the United States, we salute the 26 great NFL teams and the cities they represent as they are spread across this great land of ours. In the territory of the original 13 colonies, we find in the north, close by the Statue of Liberty, the New York Giants and the New York Jets. Near the roaring Niagara Falls, the Buffalo Bills. And in the city of the famous Tea Party, the Boston Patriots. In our cradle of liberty, the Philadelphia Eagles. And in the land of the Minutemen, the American Conference champion Baltimore Colts. In our national capital, the Washington Redskins. And in the deep south, the Atlanta Falcons. Within the Florida Purchase, the old Northwest Territory, and along the Great Lakes and the waterways of the great Mississippi Valley, we find among the orange groves and sandy beaches, the Miami Dolphins. Along the Mississippi and Ohio River steamboat country, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals. At the junction of the overland trails and stagecoach routes, the Kansas City Chiefs. Along the Great Lakes, our industrial cities and their teams, the Detroit Lions, the Cleveland Browns, the Chicago Bears, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the winter wonderland of the Paul Bunyan country, the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And way down yonder at the mouth of the mighty Mississippi, in the birthplace of jazz, the New Orleans Saints. In the Lone Star State of Texas, land of the cowpokes and oil wells, the Houston Oilers and the National Conference champion Dallas Cowboys. In the far west, near the majestic peaks of the Rocky Mountains, and in a winter sports playground, we have the Denver Broncos. And on the West Coast, home of the great movie industry and the Oscars, the San Francisco 49ers, the Oakland Raiders, the San Diego Chargers, and the Los Angeles Rams. As we pay tribute to this National League of Competitive Sport, we reaffirm our faith in the country whose character it represents. Ladies and gentlemen, a voice of America, Miss Anita Bryant.
Have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Sounded forth the trumpets that shall never call retreat. He is lifting up the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. He jubil at my feet while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lily, Christ was born across the sea with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me, as he died to make men holy. Let us die to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is
Today's pregame and halftime show was produced by Ernest E. Seiler, Executive Vice President of the Orange Bowl Committee. Our cast was the Southeast Missouri State College Band.
We're 13-6, Dallas here at halftime. We've got the official statistics for the first half. Each team had 6 first downs. Baltimore had the most offensive yardage, most of them on one play, a 76-yard pass play, 154 yards to 135 yards for Dallas. In rushing, Baltimore only 19 yards rushing, 49 for Dallas. In passing, Baltimore 135 to 86. We have a wrong statistic here. The turnovers are the key to the first half. 2 interceptions by Dallas, and Baltimore's fumbled the ball away twice. They have here only 1 fumble, but Gardine fumbled a punt away and Unitas fumbled. Dallas has not had a turnover. They have played mistake-free ball, and of course the big ending of the half when Baltimore had the ball on the Dallas 2-yard line with a 1st and goal to go and couldn't punch it in.
Well, as you point out, it really has been a matter of turnovers. Baltimore has stopped the Dallas running game, I would say, fairly well. 49 yards is holding that particular running offense pretty good. And also Dallas has held the Baltimore passing with the exception of that long pass play that resulted in the controversial, I'm sure, play from the Dallas Cowboys standpoint. Johnny Unitas passing to Eddie Hinton. This is the play, Unitas going back. He'll be passing for Eddie Hinton. Hinton will touch the ball. It'll be tipped up in the air. The Cowboys' Cornell Green also was in on the play, and the official said that he had also tipped it before it landed in the Colts' John Mackey's hands. Mackey, number 88, will catch it as he continues on. And there's Mackey just about ready to haul it in, and this was the long touchdown play that the Dallas Cowboys, I'm sure, were quite concerned about as to whether it was actually tipped by their Cornell Green or not. But thus far, it has been a matter of who's made the fewest mistakes. Dallas certainly not running all over Baltimore, doing a fairly good job. Baltimore not outpassing Dallas, certainly, but doing a fairly good job. And it's been the fumbles and the interception.
Now the Colts are coming back on. We'll get word just before the half. You think they'll continue with Morrow?
I think so. If Johnny's not able to play, you know, it's just a matter of whether he is physically able to or not. I know if he is, I think they will go back with Unitas.
We're going to take a look now at Dwayne Thomas's touchdown run. This is after the Dallas Cowboys had scooped up Johnny Unitas' fumble. And here's Morton now feeding Thomas.
And this is just a little dump pass off to the right. Good blocking out in front. This will be number 20, Volk, coming in, I think, to try to make the tackle. And just misses as he goes across. Billy Ray Smith makes the tackle.
Well, the score is Dallas 13 and Baltimore 6 as we get ready for the second half kickoff of the 1971 Super Bowl game.
When your company orders a copier from 3M, we want you to receive the copier that's going to do your business the most good. For example, we have a compact desktop unit, ideal for a few copies a day. On the other hand, there's a copier that's completely automatic, from feeding originals to sorting copies into sets. We also have a machine that features continuous stream feeding of originals, and a new high-speed copier that creates sharp, black-on-white copies on ordinary bond weight paper. And if you want color, 3M now offers a machine that reproduces any original in full color. So let us help you decide which 3M copier can lower your copying cost. See and compare them all at your 3M Business Products Center.
As we mentioned in the first quarter, the very first Super Bowl winner was coached by Vince Lombardi. And the following year, his team came back and they won it again. Vince won't be with us today. And Brian Piccolo, the Bears running back, won't be on hand for today's game either because cancer claimed them both. Now, scientists and physicians tell us that we can beat cancer, but it's going to take continuing research. The National Football League is asking for your help. Please, send $1 or $10 or whatever you can to Super Bowl Cancer Fund, Box 800, Grand Central Station, New York, New York, zip code 117. Believe me, this disease can be beaten. Thank you very much. There's Tom Landry. Kyle, you played with Tom Landry. Tell us about him.
Well, you know, a lot of people, I think, have the wrong impression of Tom because he's so serious usually. But he is really, I think he has a very dry sense of humor, a very dry wit. But what makes him so serious is that, you know, he's calling the plays, and he is always a play or two ahead of what's happening on the field. And he can't go around being a cheerleader, patting guys on the back and saying nice going. He is constantly thinking about what's going on.
Both are quiet men. Don McCafferty is not a holler guy. He's a private man. When he says something, he means it. He's had the complete respect of his players this year. Baltimore is going to receive on your right. Mike Clark will kick off from your left. $15,000 per man for the winner of this game. $7,500 for the loser. If it's a tie, we'll have a sudden death. Here's the kick by Clark. Duncan fields it on the 7. He's to the 20. Oh, he fumbles, and he was really racked up, and the ball, he was hit by Claxton Welch, who jarred the ball loose. That's the 5th Baltimore turnover. Dallas ball. Jarring tackling today by the Cowboys. They've now jarred 3 men loose in the ball. They've had 2 interceptions. It's a first down for Dallas on the Baltimore 31. And remember in the Super Bowl here 2 years ago, New York Jet leading 7-0. Baltimore got the ball at the start of the second half, and Tom Matty fumbled it away. Here now, the Cowboys out, first down on the Baltimore 31. Dwayne Thomas to the 25 and to the 23-yard line before he's hit there by Ray May.
If my records are correct, that's the 3rd fumble for Baltimore to go along with 2 intercepted passes. That's 5 big turnovers. Dallas has been able to convert only 2 field goals on 2 of them, and then the 1 touchdown.
Dwayne Thomas in the first half had 23 yards on the ground. He now has 30. Coming back on a delay is Garrison for a first down to the Baltimore 15. And he's hit by Ray May again with help from Mike Curtis. Dallas ball. They smell blood now. They have a first down on the Baltimore 15 in the opening of the second half. Morton is the quarterback. Dwayne Thomas and Walt Garrison the running backs. Reggie Rucker flanks to the right and Bob Hayes to the left. Dennis Norman is the tight end. Thomas is dropped by number 83, Ted Hendricks, and number 74, Billy Ray Smith. It's on the 13-yard line of Baltimore. It's 2nd down and 8. Going off is Hendricks, and coming on to replace him is Bob Grant, number 51. Hendricks was injured on that last play, the outside right linebacker. 2nd down, 8. Dallas Cowboys in the Baltimore 13. Garrison cutting back, and he's to the 7-yard line. As you saw the cutback when he saw the daylight inside. Ray May hit him again, the 3rd tackle in a row, and Ted Hendricks returns to the game as an outside linebacker replacing Bob Grant. It'll now be 3rd down and 2 to go for a first down for Dallas.
Dallas taking advantage of that lateral pursuit on the part of Baltimore. I'm sure from up in the press box in that first half, at the halftime, they went over this, having their runners cut back against the grain.
3rd and 2. Thomas running on his own to the 2-yard line. Ridden down by Fred Miller, 76.
Here's another look at it, as you would look at it from the end zone. Brought down by Fred Miller, and Miller, I think, giving him the tackle from the angle in which he was pursuing him, gained another yard for Dallas.
Calvin Hill comes in now. Reggie Rucker goes out. Garrison stays in. And they're going into their, they'll have Thomas and Hill with the 2 tight ends. The old standard T. They give it to Thomas. And Thomas trying to spin to that goal line. And he's in. Wait a minute, he fumbled at the goal line. He fumbled right at the goal line. And Dallas is unhappy now. He lost the ball as he spun back toward the goal line. That's the first turnover for Dallas, and it cost him 6 points. Greg Morton letting the officials have it as he comes off. On the half-yard line, Baltimore's ball. They'll have to get it out of here or clear it out. If they had been scored on, they were in serious trouble early in the second half. They're still in trouble. Nowatzki out to his 3-yard line as Earl Morrill's trying to get some running room. Here's the fumble, Kyle.
That fumble again. And as they're driving in, this is Thomas trying to spin around. And there goes the ball down. And it looked like Billy Ray Smith, 74, recovered it.
Or Mike Curtis, one of the two in that pileup. Second down, 8 to go. Baltimore on their 3-yard line. They're trailing 13-6. Boulash trying to find an opening. He just can't get any running room today. The big rookie from TCU was going to get married next Saturday.
Now down to Bill Ennis.
Let's quickly go down to Bill Ennis.
Kurt, Earl Morrill is the quarterback. As you know, Johnny Unitas has not come back out on the field. Right now, we understand from the Baltimore bench he is having his ribs x-rayed, and it is not known at this time whether he will be back or not. But right now, this ball game is in the hands of Earl Morrill. Back up to you.
We'd say it would be doubtful. Unitas said in the first half, we said earlier, I'm all right, but he really got a crack from George Andre. You damage those ribs. Very painful condition. Third down now and 4. Baltimore on their 7-yard line. And roaring through goes Norm Boulash out to his 14. A first down for the Colts. Boulash. Interesting story about him.
Watch this blocking. Curry going off to his left. Wrestler making the little short trap, number 62. And Boulash right between. Just a short trap. The left guard and the center.
And Boulash leaves the game. He's replaced by Sam Haverlack, number 17. First down, Baltimore in their 14. Now they've got some operating room. Earl Morrow, pump faking. Fires to Hinton. Hinton can't get it. And defending there with him was Mel Renfro, right on him like a piece of adhesive tape. Second down, 10.
A lot of bumping going on downfield, but of course Renfro can do that until that ball is put in the air, and he'd given Hinton a pretty good chuck as he came down about 10 yards. And Hinton, of course, was slowed down by that contact, trying to fight his way out to the sideline.
Renfro plays his receiver tighter than Adderley does. Adderley usually plays loose. Second down, 10. Baltimore on their own 14-yard line. Dallas leading 13-6 in the third period. Right down the middle to Haverlack at the 30. Haverlack at the 35 to the 39. A second-year man from Bucknell, Sam Haverlack, tackled by Mel Renfro, and Baltimore has a first down. Put it on their 40.
And as you can see, Baltimore doesn't lose much efficiency when they change quarterbacks. Earl Morrill, who led the Colts into the Super Bowl 2 years ago, certainly effective in this drive.
His coach, McCafferty, when asked if anything happened to Unitas, he said, I don't worry. I've got a great quarterback behind him. Earl Morrill. First down, Baltimore on their 40. A draw play to Nowatzki. Nowatzki striding to his 46-yard line. The hit was made by Jethro Pugh, number 1, and then Dave Edwards, secondly. Cornell Green in the pileup. It's a gain of 6. Second down, 4 to go, and this drive started at the Baltimore half-yard line.
And a smart call by Morrill. He's trying to cut down that tremendous charge by the Cowboy front four. Lilly, Pugh, Cole, Andre, trying to give them an off-speed play.
Morrill now is 3 out of 6 in the game. Feeds it to Haverlack. Haverlack's to his 48-yard line. Dave Edwards, the outside left linebacker of Auburn, an 8-year man, brought him down. The Dallas linebackers are not big. They're among the smallest in pro football, but they're very, very quick. Third down, and a foot to go. Don McCafferty brings Eddie Hinton out. Haverlack comes out. Now they want some power in there. The extra tight end's gone in. And Boulash is back in. On the 49-yard line of Baltimore, 3rd and a foot. And he's at the 50. Looks like he has a first down, Boulash. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
Inquiry with Sheriff Peter Pitches at 5 on KNBC Los Angeles.
This is Curt Gowdy, Kyle Rote, and Bill Ennis from the Super Bowl. A first down for the Baltimore Colts. Eddie Hinton comes back in as flanking back. Tom Mitchell, a tight end, leaves the game. Baltimore on their 50-yard line, or just nudging into Dallas territory. Where the ball is resting now is emblematic of the Vince Lombardi Trophy, which will be the official trophy for the Super Bowl winner. And its outline is on the field in silver and black. You'll see it in the winner's clubhouse after the game. Morrow going to the sideline to Jefferson, and it's incomplete. Herb Adderley, and Jefferson scrambling for the ball. Adderley, a great running back at Michigan State. The late Coach Lombardi said, I nearly made a mistake and put that boy on offense. Luckily, I got him on defense where he became one of the greats. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score, the Dallas Cowboys 13, the Baltimore Colts 6.
Razor blade shimmy. You can't see it happen on your face, so I'll show you what it's like on this bar of soap. Double-edged blade shimmy, because the razor doesn't hold them very firmly. Band razors don't make shaving any smoother. They have a shimmy all their own. Fortunately, there's the Schick injector system, with a razor that locks the blade in this tight. That controls the shimmy, so you shave your whiskers much smoother, more evenly. The Schick injector system. Try it.
To the Equitable agent, no two people are alike.
Is there anyone else in the whole human race with your kind of style and your kind of grace?
No two people are exactly alike, and that's what the Equitable agent never forgets. All his training and thinking are shaped around you and your life insurance needs. To the Equitable agent,
there's nobody else exactly like you. Nobody else like you.
2nd and long for Baltimore, so 2 extra linebackers go in, D.D. Lewis and Tom Stinchik for Dallas, and an extra secondary man, Mark Washington. Edwards and Howley leave the game, and we'll have a 3-man rush. Pugh went out as the lineman. 3 men up front now. They're looking for the pass on 2nd and 10. Baltimore on the 50-yard line. Big rush on him. And he read it, and he hit Boulash at the 43 of Dallas. They were blitzing on it with a 3-man prevent. Charlie Waters making the tackle.
And here's Earl. You'll see Mark Washington, number 46, come flying through there. There's Andre coming out to the right. And another Red Dog, 56, Tom Stinchik. And he got it away just in time. Boulash with a good reception.
3rd and 4 now. Ray Perkins comes in, and Boulash has gone out. They have 3 wide receivers in now, Baltimore. Morrow. Bad pass. Right in the hand of Leroy Jordan. Pass was intended for Perkins, Ray Perkins, and Morrow threw a bad pass. And Howley had Jordan had a wide open shot at it. And O'Brien is coming in now to try a long field goal. Jim O'Brien.
Oh, trying to hit Perkins down there, and there were 3 linebackers for Dallas in that one area, D.D. Lewis, Leroy Jordan, and Chuck Howley.
This will be a 52-yard field goal attempt by Jim O'Brien. Earl Morrill is holding, and back is Mel Renfro as the safety man for Dallas. The kick is up there, and it is fading to the left. And is going to be dead on the 1-inch line. Dead on the 1-inch line. You can't, that's almost like pitching pennies. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score, the Dallas Cowboys 13 and the Baltimore Colts 6.
It's a fact. Chrysler Plymouth offers more kinds of new cars than anyone else, including Duster, Satellite, Roadrunner, Fury, Chrysler, and now a new entry in the subcompact field, the little car that can.
Here comes Cricket, coming through. Chrysler Plymouth, coming through.
New Cricket from Plymouth has 4 doors and gives you family-sized room, gives you good gas economy, and things you can't get in some other import-sized cars, like power disc brakes in front, standard, big 14 cubic foot trunk. And Cricket is Chrysler engineered, Chrysler built. Cricket, only $19.15, manufacturer's suggested retail price, excluding state and local taxes, destination and suggested dealer new car preparation charges, at selected Plymouth dealers.
On that kick by O'Brien, looked like Mel Renfro blew it. He thought the ball was going in the end zone. He could have picked the ball up on the 1 or 2 yard line and maybe run it back 15 or 20 yards, Kyle.
And they had it on the Baltimore 6-inch line a moment ago. Now they're on their 1-inch line.
So now Dallas is pinned back against their own goal line as Craig Morton gets it out to the 3 where Ray May and Billy Ray Smith. Baltimore had the ball on their half-yard line. Now Dallas had it on their 1-foot line. And they're on their own 3 now. Of course, it all looks easier up here, but down in the field, much tougher. And Renfro evidently thought that ball was going to skip on in and wouldn't take that backspin. He had time to pick it up and maybe come back upfield 10 or 15 yards with it. Garrison and Dwayne Thomas behind Morton. That's Dwayne Thomas, and he's met at the 3 or 4 yard line by the right side of that Baltimore defense. Mike Curtis, he's been all over the field today. And helping him, number 85, Roy Hilton. 3rd down. Dallas on their 4 yard line. We have 4 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the 3rd period. Dallas is leading 13-6. Let's see what they do here. They put Reggie Rucker in motion, the flanker. They stop the play at the 3. And nearly jumping off was Billy Ray Smith.
Roy Hilton making that tackle in the Cowboys' backfield. Came across very strong.
So it's 4th down now. The punting team is on, and Baltimore has a real shot now at some field position.
You know, Baltimore has not tried to block a punt yet. They've just been holding up that Dallas team, but they have them backed up in this end zone. We'll see if they try and get in and block it.
Gardine is the safety man. Ron Whitby punting. It's a good kick. Gardine takes it on the 48 of Dallas, trying to get outside. Look at that quickness of that Dallas coverage. A flag goes down. A flag went down, and I believe a clipping has been called. Might be clipping against Jack Maitland, I think. Maitland clipped, and that'll cost them 15 and put them back in their own territory. Those are the penalties that coaches gnaw their teeth over.
You know, on that punt, Baltimore did not try to block it. Again, they were trying to hold up the Dallas men from going downfield, hoping that they could get Gardine back on a good run back. And then with the clipping penalty, they've lost another 15 yards.
Johnny Unitas now is warming up. He injured his ribs in the 2nd quarter, had to leave the game when George Andre, the defensive right end of Dallas, hit him. He's had treatment, x-rays, and now there's a timeout. Action will continue here at the Super Bowl. The score is Dallas 13 and Baltimore 6.
To the equitable agent, no two people are alike.
Is there anyone else in the whole human race with your kind of style and your kind of grace?
No two people are exactly alike, and that's what the equitable agent never forgets. All his training and thinking are shaped around you and your life insurance needs. To the equitable agent,
There's nobody else exactly like you. Nobody else like you.
Men, when you take it off with Noxema medicated shave, you know how close you can get? Hmm? This close.
They have X-ray facilities right here in the Orange Bowl. Unitas took preventive X-rays at the halftime to be sure he had nothing broken. He has damaged ribs, but maybe he'll be back in. 1st and 10 for Baltimore on their 39-yard line. They're trailing 13-6. They give the ball to Nowatzki. Nowatzki hit right along the line of scrimmage. Coming up was 𝙗𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙨, a deadly tackler on the outside to dump him. Let's go down to Bill Ennis.
Kurt, the report on Johnny Unitas is that he does have a very, very slight hairline fracture in the right rib cage, and it is very doubtful he will see any more action this afternoon. However, he is heavily taped, and he is back out on the field. Now let's go back upstairs.
A hairline fracture in the rib cage for Unitas. He's heavily taped, as Bill Ennis said. Doubtful if he'll be back. 2nd down, 9. So it's up to Earl Morrill now, the other veteran quarterback. Morrill is going deep. He's got Nowatzki wide open. Nowatzki at the 15. Right down the middle, and he had him wide open as he came out of the backfield.
And here we'll take a look at it. That's 𝙗𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙖, 36 in the backfield, staying in. Nowatzki circled around his left end, right down in the open. Looked like 54 Howley, 55 Jordan. Someone missed picking him up. There's Adderley coming in.
Adderley saved the touchdown. And now it's 1st and 10 for Baltimore and the Dallas 15. The score is the Cowboys 13, the Colts 6. A minute and a half to go in the 3rd period. Morrill to 𝙗𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙖. 𝙗𝙧𝙘𝙗 to the 12 of Dallas. Met there by Larry Cole first. Waters came up from the safety position, and Leroy Jordan and Dave Edwards. Dallas, a quick pursuing team, gang tackling. Morrill has now completed 5 out of 10 today for 127 yards. Baltimore has a lead in 1st down. Baltimore's moved the ball better this half than they did the 1st half. Unitas was 3 out of 9 before he left. Greg Morton is at 8 out of 16. 2nd down, 7 to go. The Colts on the Cowboy 12. Quarterback draw. And he's to the 11, and that's it. Jethro Pugh around the ankles, nabbed him, number 75.
And saved the day with that little ankle tackle, too, because it looked like Earl was being, if he could have gotten by him, he could have picked up one other blocker downfield. Looked like Bob Vogel, 72, might have been out in front.
Tom Landry nervously pacing those sidelines. The clock is moving with 20 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Don McCafferty just looking up at the clock. Tom Matty, the injured halfback, who's shading his eyes with the sun. They may not get this play off. There's the gun. That's the end of the 3rd quarter in the 1971 Super Bowl game with a score. The Dallas Cowboys 13, the Baltimore Colts 6.
The Goodyear Custom White Tread Polyglass Tire.
Portland, you still got a good 3 hours, lady.
Thank you.
Polyglass is mileage.
Wow, those lights.
Polyglass is traction.
Fred, we there yet?
Polyglass is strength. This is the Goodyear Custom Wide Tread Polyglass tire. Inside, 2 fiberglass belts, plus today's most preferred tire body cord, polyester, pioneered by Goodyear. Traction. Strength. Long mileage, too. Polyglass is value. And remember, if it doesn't say Goodyear, it can't be Polyglass.
2 million people in Pakistan are faced with starvation, exposure, disease. The Pakistan flood was the worst natural disaster of this century. There will be a greater disaster if we don't care. Whatever amount you can to save the survivors, Pakistan Relief Fund, Box 1670, Washington, D.C., 20013. So this is Curt Gowdy, Kyle Rote, Bill Ennis. We're going out of the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. Baltimore had the ball on the Dallas 2-yard line at the end of the first half. 4 cracks, couldn't take it over. Now they're threatening again. One interesting thing, Baltimore has been a conservative team. No gimmicks today. During the year, they've always had a trick play or two in the game. They have not used a gimmick or trick play in this game yet. On 3rd down, Morrow's pass is intercepted in the end zone. And it's intercepted there by Chuck Howley. That's his 2nd interception. 6 turnovers for Baltimore today. 3 interceptions and 3 fumbles.
He not only had the ball intercepted, I think he gets pretty good rush on him right here at the end, coming in from his left. There it is, George Andre.
No matter what the Cowboys tried, the Colts were there to make life miserable. Rick Volk made it that way on a deflection, an interception, and a dashing return to the Dallas 3-yard line. It took the Colts only a couple of plays to score the touchdown. The point after tied the score, 13-13, to set up the pulsating finish.
Watch it, they blocked the last point. Dallas is very good at blocking these points. Morrow will set it up for O'Brien. It could tie it if they get it through. The kick is good. It's a tie game. Now let's see if Baltimore uses its timeouts to get the ball with 1 minute and 9 seconds to go. Both teams have played it cautiously here. Dallas now back on their own 27-yard line. A 2nd down. 35 yards to go. Slot right. Morton being chased by Bubba Smith. Unload. Intercepted by Mike Curtis. Mike Curtis intercepts, and Baltimore has a chance now to win it. Jim O'Brien, in his first regular pro-season game, kicked a field goal in the last minute to beat San Diego. He's been slightly erratic at times. He says that is the kick he'll always remember. What about this one? $15,000 riding on this kick for the Colts. 13-13 tie, 9 seconds to go. All right, here you are now. What a fight. And the kick is up. The kick is good. Jim O'Brien with 5 seconds. The Colts lead 16-13.
Quarterback Earl Morrall enjoyed his Super Bowl vindication.
I tell you, this is what we worked for, and it's a great feeling being on this side, on the winning side, and just happy to be here, I tell you.